Blessings falling down on me. It keeps bringing me joy. Each new blessing I receive, it keeps bringing me joy.
Yeah, okay. Blessing to coming in front of me. Coming in front. I'm in the cup with a bag on me. How you feel? Like I got my peace in this heavenly? Yes. We not the same. Keeping the fake up under me. You know. Yeah. I gotta go. I'm in the lead. Yeah. No checking the scope. Plain to see. You reap what you sow. You cannot face me. I gotta say this life is amazing. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time he saved my life. Coming with that talk. Please don't kill my vibe. Shorty got that walk. She know what I like. Yeah. With the gang and it's so shy, yeah. Okay, I'm in the still, I got the truth. Look at the pedigree. Okay, I never lose when I'm on the move. I'm leaning on the G. Okay, dipped in the water, only the Father coming in clutch for me. Coming in clutch, coming in clutch, coming in, yeah.
Blessings falling down on me. It keeps bringing me joy. Each new blessing I receive.
You problems I avoid. Why would I give up my core? Belief in you gon' change my world. Make me feel like I'm the world. You gon' maybe I'm not sure. Just make me your little vessel. I won't wrestle with you, Lord. I got all these blessings raining. I'm gon' need a new umbrella. We don't do that stressing, baby. Faith gon' work in any weather. Once I gave him all of me, I just hit the Hall of Fame. We take Jesus over shame. Got no limits, but he not damn. They say no, I'm still the same. Yeah, I got a lot to prove. Fill my life with room. He hopped out that tomb. Yes, I couldn't help it, my confession. Tell him I'm about to bloom. He wrote me up from the womb. Blessings coming soon.
Blessings falling down on me. It keeps bringing me joy. Each new blessing I receive.
So, nephew, let me tell you about my crew. Dogs? I mean, some of them is dogs. Some of them is pigs and cats and stuff like that.
Chicken, lamb, peacocks.
Bears and horses and things and stuff like that. But my best friend is a cat named Geo. He's a gorilla. We call him Geo for gorilla.
So, okay. So that's where we come from.
What are you talking about?
You know, the gorillas, the monkeys.
You don't come from no gorilla. Who told you that?
It's in my school books.
Man, no. Man, I was there when Adam was made. And he was made out of dirt. God reached down there and he was like, he just took his fingernails. He just taking his fingernails getting dirty. Next thing you know, Adam was laying there. Woo! Man, you know what we call him?
What?
We call him Dirt. Because he's made out of dirt. Dirt! Dirty! That's my man's though.
Welcome to Eden.
So let us make man just like us, strong like us, wise like us. Let us make man beautiful like us, and let us make him immortal. Just like us.
when they ask you, whose man's is this? Tell them, that's my creation, and his name is Adam. Now, Adam, breathe. Look around. Look around. And welcome to Eden. Hey, come on. Come on, come on. You're my man's, break 'em off. Welcome to Eden, the vibe is love. Everything God created defines as love. Yo, you here now, so
Yo, I'm Ad2, and I'm the father of Ace and Daniels.
I'm Mike Kell, and I'm a father to Ocean. Courtney Davis, and I'm the father of Leah Davis.
Big Twan, man. This Myla, this Antoine Jr.
I'm Rendell. I'm with my daughter, Savannah.
I'm Vic, I'm here with V3, Victor III. Excited to be out here at the Daddy Show.
Miles, I'm here with Maddox. This is my son. Ready for the Daddy Show today.
My name is Brendan Hall. I'm Elijah, and he's 2 years old.
I'm Jabari, I'm father of 2, Amory, and Amara.
My name is AJ Abrams. This is Jackson right here. He's 1 year old, and I got a 3-year-old, Jace, right here.
My name is Kyle, and I'm a father to Nadia, Amira, and my son Carson.
Hi, kids. I knew you.
Look. You did it. Yay.
So around 2015, when Golden State first started making their run, my sons asked me like, Dad, have you ever played against Steph Curry? I'm like, nah, I never have. They was like, have you ever met him? I'm like, no, I never met him. So fast forward a couple years later, I go visit my mom. And if you know me when I was growing up, I used to keep a Polaroid camera. I used to take so many pictures. And that was going to be my major going into college, photography. I loved it. So I'm going through these photos at my mom's house, and I'm just looking through all these photos. And I look, and I'm looking through this picture, and I'm like, yo, that's Steph Curry right there. And then right here with the white headband is me. So we were teammates. So I tell my son, like, yo, me and Steph Curry was teammates. He's like, nah, Dad, no, you wasn't. So I show him. They're like, how do you forget something like that, Dad? To be honest with you, me right here, this is like probably 05, 06. I was like top 10, top 15 player in the country. And Steph Curry back then, I don't think he was in the top 90 or 100. I don't remember him. This guy right here, Paul Harris with the headband, was 6'4", 215 pounds. Steph Curry right here was around 6'3", 160. This guy right here was being recruited by every school in the country, went to a Power 5 school in Syracuse. This guy right here went to a mid-major. This guy right here ended up being undrafted. This guy right here was drafted top 10. This guy played overseas. This guy right here changed the game globally, unanimous MVP. You know the rest of his career, everything he has accomplished. The moral of the story, what I'm trying to say is, it's not how you start. Some players gonna have head start, they're gonna be ahead of you, but you have to run your own race. Steph Curry ran his own race. He wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the quickest, but he knew what he was great at, and he kept working, kept getting better. Now he's one of the all-time greatest ever. So there's some young kid out there, you may be in 11th grade, 10th grade, you might be on JV, but don't get caught up in like, yo, that guy's an All-American, what he's doing. Run your race. Most importantly, it's about you. Who's gonna keep going?
things will go my way. 'Cause it's my day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be my day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be my day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be my day. Today, I let go what's happened in my past, and the time that I had somehow finished last. I ball it up and throw it in the trash. But it's my day. I'm smiling because I know that today is the day. I'm happy not because of yesterday, but I'm happy cause I'm starting with today. Things will go my way. 'Cause it's my day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be my day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna 'cause it's my day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be my day. Tired of getting up in the morning with the same old rut and the same old gut bugging me. The doctor keep drugging me and I'm sluggish and I can't get out of bed. But instead I'ma look to the light, man. Stop blaming my wife, man. I will do it right, man. Fly like a kite, man. I was doing wrong too long, and I'm sick and tired of singing sad songs. I'ma flip it now, song. I will not wait on anything to happen. I will make it happen. I will take some action now. Won't wait on another day. God to make you way. I will take today. My day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be my day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be my day. My day. This is the day that the Lord has made. It's gonna be a good day. And I will rejoice and be glad in it. It's gonna be a great day. But this is the day that the Lord has made. It's gonna be a good day. And I will rejoice because it's my day.
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, everyone? Glad to see you guys this morning. Hey, hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Hey, everybody. Uh-oh, why is it so dark? There we go. Let's open it up to light. There we go. Hey, y'all, what's up, man? I hope everybody's doing all right, man. It is Monday, August 25th, and you are locked in with Zeke live in the morning, and we are live. We are live on the Zeke Live in the Morning show. Thank y'all for being here with us, man. I tell y'all every day, this is a great way to start your day. I say it every day because it's been true every day. I'll stop saying it when it's no longer true. But for right now, it's true. And you guys are a big part of why that's true. So thank y'all so much for getting on here with us. Man, we got a good one for you guys today. We are talking about struggle addiction. Not a term that's been coined by psychologists, but y'all understand what we mean. And by the time we get done with today's episode, hopefully we'll be able to look at ourselves and realize whether or not we have been addicted to struggle, addicted to chaos, addicted to overworking, addicted to people who just drag us down. Have we been addicted to that stuff? Have we been addicted to living paycheck to paycheck? I don't know. That's not for me to decide. That's for you to decide. We just gonna talk about it today live on the air. So that's what we're gonna do. Of course, I've got my co-hosts, Eric Rideout, Rich Holmes, Rhonda on the Rocks. I think we got Eric and Rich with us today. Actually, Eric might be traveling. I don't know. We'll find out. I forget. If you want somebody with all the wrong information, I'm your guy. You know how that goes. Hey, y'all, but before we get into any of that stuff, y'all know what I have to do. I have to make sure that we know all the places where you can follow us and subscribe and all that stuff. So, of course, you know that you can catch us on the YouTubes. There it is over there. On YouTube, it's just simply Zeke Lock. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And, turn on your notifications and all that good stuff. It looks like I'm freezing up on my own camera. I don't know what that's about, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully. Always an issue. What is going on? All right. So y'all can follow us on YouTube. Of course, you can follow us or you can subscribe on YouTube, and then you can follow us over on the Facebook, the Book of Faces, and we're over there as well. YouTube is supposedly the better listening experience, but looks like we're having some connectivity things going on here. I don't know. I'm freezing up some. I don't know what that's all about. As long as y'all can hear me, that's what counts, because, that's what we need. So, all right, let's get into it, man. Today is just a wonderful day. It's nice outside. The sun is shining. It's not too hot. Hopefully it doesn't get too hot. I just stepped outside for a hot second. I'm here in Chicago, and I just stepped outside for a hot second, and maybe I should choose my words differently. It was not a hot second. It is definitely chilly outside. So, there's that. So I don't know. Maybe we need coats again or something like that. Maybe we need to put on some coats again. I don't know. Is fall time amongst us? I mean, we got one weekend left of the summertime. Y'all know how they say it is. What did they say? After Labor Day, that's the end of the official summer season. So you got one more weekend, and then you gotta, you got one more weekend, then you got to get back into your fall routines, get your fall clothes out. And I don't know what happened over here in America that everybody all of a sudden just loved fall. I don't know what that's about. Like, when did we start loving fall? I'm not a fall lover like that. I'm the kind of person who loves summertime. So, I'm starting to get a little bit, because summertime is getting over with. So I'm starting to get, but that's what it is. I guess that's what it is. It's just the seasons come, the seasons change. It is what it is. And, that's what makes life beautiful. Different seasons bring different things, different possibilities. So I'm saying all that to say, I hate the fact that summer is ending. I'm saying that all to say, I hate the fact that summer is ending. But I will say this. I had a busy weekend, had a great weekend. I mean, a really, really great weekend, a very busy weekend. I did some outside events. I had some meetings with some people. I had a board meeting. I had a meeting with like some counseling sessions almost with people. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a licensed clinical counselor. So it's not like that. But just that ear of counsel, if you will. Had some of that. Saw some friends. We celebrated Rhonda on the Rocks 1 year. I was super late to the party, but went out there. We turned it up anyways to celebrate her. I had church this weekend. Did some original music at church, so that was pretty cool. We did some original music at church, and I think the congregation liked it. So, that was pretty awesome. So just a long but busy but good weekend. And I'm wondering, how was you guys this weekend? Second to last weekend of the official summertime. It'll still be warm in September, but it won't be officially summer. You won't be able to wear all white no more, stupid stuff like that. So, but that was my weekend. I don't know, that was a relaxing weekend, but it was a productive one. And that's good. That's good. I like that. I hope you guys had the same thing. I hope you guys had a good, productive weekend. If nothing else, I hope you had a good, relaxing weekend. I hope you got a chance to watch your favorite shows or sit back and kick it, go and see some family, do all of that. I hope you had the opportunity to do that because, like I said, summertime's leaving us, but we still need relaxation. We still need all of that stuff. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. Struggle addiction. I don't know. Maybe I have a little bit of struggle addiction with me because I like to work real hard. But I just got big things that are coming up, and it just requires a little bit of work. It requires a little bit of time. It requires all of that. So we just got to do what we got to do. Let's see here. Before we get into all of the things, let me just kind of explain today's show. Of course, like I said, we are talking about struggle addiction. It's a word that I think we just kind of made up a little bit over here. It's not really a psychologist word, but we made it up. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I told you my goal is that we can at least do some introspection within ourselves, and we can see that, we can see if we are addicted to chaos, if we're addicted to overworking, if we're addicted, because if we are, then the next question is going to be, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to continue doing that, or are we going to flip it up and we're going to find some relaxation, some rest, some sanctuary, some Sabbath? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to find that kind of stuff, or are we just going to keep it in the chaos? Because maybe if you like chaos and you just need to be in the chaos, hey, do that, but you keep that over there. Don't bring that over. I need my rest. I need my relaxation. I need my time. So we'll talk about that. But let me make a couple of announcements before we get into anything else. Oh, wait. Before I do that, before I do any announcements and stuff, let me finish explaining the show. Stay on topic, Zeke. Stay focused, man. So around about 8 o'clock, we'll be doing our morning shout outs and morning affirmations in the 8 o'clock hour. So, yes, please make sure that you have said good morning if you haven't said good morning already. And then we do a couple of traditions over here. You know, we're live every morning from 7:30 to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time every weekday morning. And we have a couple of traditions that we hold on to over here. The first one is that we, of course, say good morning, but we don't just say good morning anymore. We've already started doing two things. We've started to name the day. So that's the affirmation, is that we name the day. What do I mean by that? Today is Monday, so somebody might call it Motivational Monday. Somebody might call it Made It Monday. Somebody else might still call it, I don't know, Metadata Monday. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. You guys are creative. The Lockstar family is creative. That's what we call ourselves, Lockstars. We're pretty creative. So, name the day and name it something good. You know, we try to name it something good as an affirmation, not only to ourselves, but to all the other Lockstars who are watching and listening to this live, so that they have something to take with them and encourage them for the day. And then we, like I said, we say good morning, but we do more than that. We name the day, and we try to give people a little bit of something that encourages them. So everybody's being encouraging. It's not all on me. It's all of us. We're all hosting it together. I got co-hosts who are on screen, but my lock stars tend to be co-hosts as well. So, those morning affirmations are wonderful. So we'll do that in the 8 o'clock hour. At 8:30, we'll get on here and we'll do some conversing about, struggle as an identity and familiar chaos. And some of us fit in line with that. I know I do at times. That's real. And then let's see here in the 9 o'clock hour. Let's see, I even got notes here. I even wrote it down today, y'all. Listen, I'm trying to be disciplined. This week, y'all gonna see me practice being disciplined. So, the 9 o'clock hour, if you want to stick around for that, we'll be talking about the fear of success and financial and professional cycles. So we'll be talking about that, fear of success. Have you been fearful of being successful, huh? Have you been? And then at 9:30, we'll get into the spiritual aspects of it. We'll be with Pastor Rich Holmes right about that time. We call him Pastor Rich. We'll have him here, and we'll talk a little bit about spiritualizing the struggle. Like for some of us, it's a spiritual thing that we think we're supposed to suffer. We're supposed to struggle. We're supposed to have all of that. And so we'll talk about that a little bit at that time. So that's kind of how the run of show will happen. But at 8 o'clock, we'll do, of course, our morning shout out. So make sure you get your good morning in there. Make sure you say hello. And I'm going to go ahead and do this now because I see people already leaving comments. I'm going to turn the comments on. So if you're watching us, you can look down in the bottom right corner. In the bottom right corner, if you're watching, you see our comment just popped up. Look at that. Your comments will show up down there. So when you leave a comment, in case we don't get a chance to read it, all the lock stars will be able to see it. So still leave those good, wonderful comments. You guys leave such amazing comments, and I really do appreciate it. I appreciate it. My co-hosts appreciate it. We all appreciate it when you guys get into the conversation. We honestly, we love it. It drives the conversation, and I got to be honest with you. Like I said, it drives the conversation. So I'm going to leave you guys with this question. I'm trying to find it. There's a question. I wrote it down. It was a good question too. I wrote it down. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Wait a minute. I got these things so many other places. Well, maybe I'll ask that when we get back, actually. Let me take that back. I'm going to ask that when we get back. I'm going to ask it when we get back. But, I'm wondering, are we addicted to struggle? Are we addicted to chaos? So there's no psychological term that is actually entitled struggle addiction. But there are other terms that psychologists have given. For instance, they've used names such as chaos addiction, right? So chaos addiction is when you are actively seeking turmoil or conflict because it's habitual. Ooh, that's like it's a bit of an indictment there, isn't it? Chaos addiction. Emotional addiction. Some of us have been emotional, have emotional addictions, and that's when you're dependent on drama or intense emotion as it triggers rewards. Let me read that again. Being dependent on drama or intense emotion as it triggers reward. Read it one more time for the people in the back. Being dependent on drama or intense emotion. And drama and intent. Do y'all know people like that who are they just always got drama? They just always got they're just always heightened. Everything they do is just they just always go to the extreme, because for them that's that have you ever experienced people like that? It's hard to be around folks like that. So are you one of those people? Because I'm telling you, it's hard to be around folks like that. I'm just, somebody else might not tell you, but I love you. I love you. I'm Zeke. I love you. And I'll let you know. It's difficult to be around people like that. Yeah. Self-handicapping. Yeah. Here's another term that psychologists use. Self-handicapping. Creating struggle or excuses to protect one's self-worth. Ooh, okay. So I got to be honest with y'all. That one kind of hits me a little bit. That self-handicapping, and I think that inside of there we can probably maybe sum up. And I could be wrong on this. A psychologist can correct me in the comments. But that self-handicapping sometimes I think maybe encompasses things like the imposter syndrome and the other stuff. We were at Rondo on the Rocks party, and that went from being a party to being a support group to being a testimony service to being a prayer meeting. Y'all think I'm lying. I listen, it went from being a party to being a support group to being a testimony service to being a prayer meeting. That's exactly how Rondo on the Rocks party went. And we were talking about some of that, and some of the themes that came up were the imposter syndrome. Some of the things that came up, were feeling like not belonging. So this self-handicapping sometimes that we do for ourselves, this self-handicapping that we end up doing that ends up ultimately holding us back. Right? Have we ever been in that position? The hedonic treadmill, right? Returning to struggle because peace no longer feels fulfilling. Whoa. Okay. Right. I'm just setting it up for you where the conversation is going, so you can see where you fit on the spectrum. And honestly, if you don't fit anywhere on any of these on the spectrum, then please give us the cheat code for how you got over or how you just never were there in the first place. Please give us the cheat code. But that treadmill is returning to struggle because peace no longer feels fulfilling. What in the world is going on with some of us that peace doesn't feel fulfilling? Some people have to have an issue going on in order to feel like they have place in the world, in order to feel like they're useful in the world, in order to feel like somebody loves them or respects them or looks at them seriously, takes them seriously. Some people need to have chaos going on. Peace doesn't feel fulfilling. And I think that we, need to get beyond that. And then here's another one, addiction to conflict, right? Preferring chaos due to its familiarity, even when harmful. That's an addiction to conflict. If I'm considering all of that stuff, I remember when I was in Africa. I was in Kenya a couple years back, and we were commenting, me and one of my friends, we were talking and commenting about just how so many things were just kind of awry. So many things that kind of gone a little bit awry while we were there. And, when you're all the way in Kenya from Chicago and the United States, you're talking about way far, literally on the other side of the planet. I'm in the northern hemisphere. When I was in Kenya, I was in the southern hemisphere. I live in the western hemisphere. When I was in Kenya, I was in the eastern hemisphere. So, on every count, I was literally on the other side of the world. right? And a lot of things were going wrong. A lot of things were going off. You know, we got through it. We made it work. We made it happen. And there was somebody that was there who was just really good. One of the people who was, I won't say who, I'll just say one of the hosts of us over there was really good at taking care of the conflict, really good at thinking on his feet, making things happen, making things come around. And then me and my friend were talking, we realized but we're always in some conflict situation. We're always in some chaos. We're always in some, and he said, he's really good at the chaos, really good at the drama, really good at getting something coming out of that. But for somebody like that, they always have to have chaos and drama. So is this person creating a bunch of chaos around just so they can fix the issue? And then that's how they find that value. And, if we're being honest, I think that we've probably come across more people like that in our lives. And at times we might even have been that person who finds ourselves in drama, finds ourselves in chaos so that we can feel useful. And like I said, I don't really think that's any way to live. How do you live free? How do you break these cycles? How do you break that up? We talk a lot about in churches about generational curses and all that kind of stuff like that. Who's going to break that up in our lives? Who's going to break that? Well, I honestly believe that we're the only ones that can do that. If I was to put a spiritual aspect on it, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So that means you got to think about stuff differently. So all we want to do today is bring it to our attention, because this week, we've been talking a lot the last few weeks about big goals, big dreams. We were celebrating, elevating. We were doing all of that kind of stuff. We were talking about what do we do with it? So now I think the next logical step in this week is to really consider, is some of the chaos that's around us the result of us ourselves creating chaos, or always leaning towards chaos, or being connected to people who always bring chaos and not being willing to drop them off and let them go. We had a really good exercise we did with Rhonda on the Rocks on Friday. That was really good. You can go back and watch that episode, where what would you do in a real world situation? And that was helpful even for me. So, now what we got to do is we got to realize, are we and I'm going to say it this way, and I'm not calling you a devil, but just hear what I say. Are we the very devil we're trying to cast out? Are we the very devil that we think we're trying to cast out? Are we inviting the very thing that we're trying to get rid of? We want peace, but we're the ones who keep perpetuating the chaos. We want sanctuary, but we're the ones who keep bringing all of the drama. We want to break a cycle, but we're the ones who keep drudging up the nonsense that life has to offer. It's not to say that life won't have all of that stuff, but it is to say that we don't have to go searching it out. We don't have to go seeking for it. And that's what we're going to deal with today. So by the time we get done with today's episode, hopefully you'll have a way that now as we go into this next week, you can start saying, hold on, wait a minute. You can start recognizing drama. You can start recognizing chaos, and you can start recognizing the part that you played in bringing all of that forward. And so that's the goal for today. So I want y'all to get engaged in the comments with us. We're going to have a good time. We're going to do it that way. And I'm really excited about it. But for today, we're going to play one of our favorite songs first so we can start jamming. Here's Miss Frida with the... Come back, we're going to do the first thing, which is our morning affirmations. Morning shout out. So make sure you say good morning. Go ahead and get your coffee. I got my Santa Claus cup, so I'm all right. And then we are going to be back with that. And we'll start getting into that conversation right about 8:30. But when we get back, we are doing morning shout outs, morning affirmations. So go ahead and say good morning, and we'll see you back in 1 minute. I love y'all, and we'll see you soon. In just a minute after this. Hey.
People
Yeah, we live, baby. Y'all dancing, y'all jamming. Y'all dancing, y'all jamming. Where y'all at with it, huh? What y'all got going on? Y'all dancing, y'all jamming. Y'all know we can dance, we can jam around here. That's how we get down. That's how we get down. That's how we get down. Yeah. I feel like every time I go back and I watch it, when I be dancing around and stuff like that, I feel like I'm always a little bit offbeat. I feel like I'm always just a little bit offbeat. Like, I mean, it just looks like it. So I don't know if there's some delay. I don't know what's happening. I know I'm on beat though. Like, if one person got rhythm, I got rhythm. I'm an artist, baby. I got rhythm. It's just, it always looks like I'm slightly off in the replay. And I'll be like, what the world? Y'all got me out here feeling looking like I'm a non-rhythm having bum. Yeah. Good morning, Zeke, live in the morning. Of course, we are live every weekday from 7:30 to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And you can lock in with us on the YouTubes. You can lock in with us on the Facebooks. You can do all of that. Let's get into some morning shout outs. Can we do that? Can we get into some morning shout outs? Do that this morning. If you haven't already said good morning, please do me a favor and say good morning. The morning shout outs, as we call them, or as we kind of have started dubbing them, morning affirmations. Let's do some of that. Let's see who we got going on. Hold on, I got to get something though, y'all. I forgot something. Hold on, y'all wait right there. Wait right there. Y'all know what time it is. I got my cymbal. My wife is in the other room. I got my tambourine. Every time somebody names the day, I either bang the cymbal or the tambourine and annoy the heck out of my wife in the other room. So there we have it right there. When she comes on with me, she tries to hide my tambourine, and you can't hide it from me, baby. Let's see who we got, y'all. Who we got for today? First comment of the day. That's always an honor to see who made it to the first comment. And I think today we got why stating otherwise Mama, as we know her over here at the Zeke Live in the morning show. We call her Mama, and she says, good morning, family. And she says, when you see that symbol right there, we know what that symbol means. That symbol means that the family is not just the people that you are born into, but it's the people you choose, who you choose to spend your life with, and all of that. So just good morning, family. Sending love and blessings to all of us. Open our hearts and receive it. And I like that. Open your heart and receive love. Man, that's right in line with what we're talking about today. Struggle, addiction, explaining some of that away. And yeah, for some people, they just don't know how to open their heart and receive love. So I hope that's none of the lock stars. I don't think that's you guys. I think y'all know how to do it. But let's all open our hearts today and receive a little bit of love. There's nothing wrong with receiving love. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see here. I can hear this cymbal ringing in my ear when I talk. Like, if you're a drummer, you understand what I mean. Speaking of drummers, check it out, y'all. It's DJ Ray and Marcus Johnson saying, good morning, blessed people. Good morning, blessed people. And yes, we are blessed. And I got to give a big shout out to Marcus Johnson. He filled in on the drums for me yesterday and did a fantabulous job. I did an original song, and it's a benefit having people who have traveled and toured with you and done things like that, because he kind of just understands my style and how I'm going to move in and out of things. And so he did an excellent job. And one of the elders at the church who sits right there by the drums, who is a drummer himself, when we got done with church, he was like, hey, he can come back. I like him. So that's a compliment. Trust me. So Marcus did a good job yesterday, and I appreciated him coming through, filling in. My drummer had to work his 9-to-5 job yesterday, and so I needed a drummer. And Marcus came through, met me on time, and did it. So I just appreciate him. So y'all show DJ Red some love, because he bailed me out yesterday, and I really, really do appreciate that. Let's see who else we got. Miss Asia Jamal from the Pure Live podcast. And of course, you can check out the Pure Live podcast right on YouTube. I do believe in giving shameless plugs. I will plug my Lockstar family because I want us all to grow. I'm gonna turn that light up a little bit more. I was trying not to have it in my face too much, but I want y'all to see my beautiful face. This hat will block it. There we go. It'll block it a little bit. There we go. Now y'all can see me a little better. Miss Asia Jamal, good morning and happy Monday, everybody. And I love that. Happy Monday. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I know, Asia, I know you didn't make this the title, but I'm going to shake my tambourine and hit my cymbal because I'm going to name it the first name of the day, Happy Monday. You know why I'm doing that? Because so many people treat Monday, don't we? We treat Monday like it's just a bad day. We be like, oh, it's Monday. I got to go back. No, let's retitle it, Happy Monday. It's a happy Monday. Every Monday is a happy. You get to go to work today. You get to get engaged to the things you're doing. It's not you have to, you get to, because you ain't got to do nothing but stay black and die. Unless you white, and you got to stay white and die. Well, I guess you don't even have to do that because you can get a tan. So the only thing you got to do is, y'all understand it. If you're from a black household, you've heard that before. I ain't got to do nothing but stay black and die. You heard that before. So happy Monday. That's the first affirmation of the day, is that it's a happy Monday. Speak happiness over yourself. Who else we got in here? We got Miss Brenda Rose. Good morning, Zeke family, and all the friends and the mothers. Y'all know how I feel about the mamas of the show, so she's been recognizing all the mamas of the show. I appreciate that. It's Monday, operating in your manna and enjoying the manifestation of it. You know what? Let's go right here. That's 2 titles Miss Brenda Rose gave us. What is that? Manna Monday. I like that. What is God dropping on you this day, huh? And Manifestation Monday. There we go. That deserves a hey. Any excuse to bang this tambourine? I mean, to bang this cymbal and shake this tambourine. My wife probably open this door and be like, "Hey!" So there it is, right there. What are you manifesting today? What are you looking for from heaven today? Manifesting. What are you doing on this Monday? Yeah, set yourself up for a good week, man. Set yourself up for a good week. And then look who we got. I was just talking about her. Also, thank you, Miss Brenda Rose. I was just talking about this lady right here, Miss Rhonda on the Rocks. We just celebrated 1 year of the Rhonda on the Rocks podcast, and that was such a good party. I told y'all we went from a party to a support group to a y'all know we so in it. It went from a party to a support group to a testimony service to a prayer meeting, and that was how we left, and that's how we celebrated 1 year of the Rhonda on the Rocks podcast. She's also one of my co-hosts that gets on here. So please make sure that you go follow her podcast. If you're not subscribed to Rhonda on the Rocks page, what you doing? What are you doing? You're going to subscribe, and that's what you're doing. Let's see here. Who else we got up in here? We got, y'all know how I feel about the mamas of the show. Listen, that's Eric's mama right there. Mrs. Johnny Rideout saying good morning, good Monday morning, everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and call that a title right there. Good Monday. We talk about Good Friday, but it's Good Monday. It's a happy Monday. It's a good Monday. And we're going to stop treating it like it's not. And y'all know how I like to do it. Good morning, everybody, because everybody deserves a good morning. Everybody deserves that. Whether you're a saint, an ain't, or somebody in between, whether you're red, green, yellow, blue, or purple, you deserve a good morning. You are worth it. So good morning, everybody. Y'all gonna show mama some love right there. Let's see who else we got. Y'all know mama be all on the Facebook and the YouTube side. So she's over on Facebook, keeping the party going on Facebook in the live show. She says, I'm sick, y'all. She's still sick. I know she was sick last week. So we keeping her lifted up in prayer even right now. She says she got laryngitis. But we're going to go ahead and keep on praying that the Lord, who is the healer, will show himself strong in that area in her life. So y'all go ahead and if you join in that prayer with me, think some, if you're not a prayer warrior, at least you can think some positive thoughts. Just send some good vibes her way. Some good, and whatever you get off into, whatever you do, don't wish no evil. So so send some positive vibes, positive energy, some good prayers up that the Lord will heal mama, y'all. There it is right there. Let's see who else we got. We got Brony Cat. Brony Cat 1. Good morning, rock stars. I see a reason to shake my tambourine and beat my cymbals. Good morning, Lock Stars. Have a magnificent Monday. There's another affirmation for you. It's magnificent today. It's magnificent Monday. And Mornin Cat, I call her the church announcement lady. She's the one that kicked off these affirmations like this. She's one of the ones that kicked it off with the announcement. There it is right there. It says, welcome to Zeke Live in the Morning with co-host Zeke Lock and co-host Eric Rideout, Rich host, and special guest host Rhonda Cohen, a.k.a. Rhonda on the Rocks. Now, here's the part I love. Grab a cup and let's live free. It's a lifestyle. Oh, this is the part I love right here. What are you drinking? She always makes us check in with our drink. You guys got morning beverages on Friday. I heard people saying that they drink tea, they drink juice. Some people get that herbal tea, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Somebody might be drinking noni juice every morning. I don't know. Are y'all noni juice? Drink your noni juice in the morning? I don't know. But I've got my coffee. I drink my coffee straight black. I've become an old man. I guess I've become an old man. I drink black coffee, no sugar, no cream, just pour it in a cup and give it to me. And my Santa Claus cup. Y'all know I love my Santa Claus cup. So any day I get my Santa Claus cup is a good day. Yeah, I've had this cup for several years now, probably 4 years now, 3 years, probably 3 years now. And this is I don't know why. See, this is what I mean. You get addicted to one thing. It's familiar. I got 100 cups up there, and I always go looking for this one. Like this one. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see here. I want to see who else we got. So many good, wonderful comments. Y'all keep on engaging these comments today. You guys are awesome sauce. I love it. Hey, y'all, look, it's my Auntie Regina. Good morning, nephew and Lock Stars family. I love the fall because I was born in October. There's always some fall baby coming on, talking about how the fall is the best. I was born in the fall, too. My birthday is December 1st. I'm just throwing it out there for all the Lock Stars. I take all forms of gifts, all forms of credit cards. Take credit cards, gift cards, Cash App, PayPal, EBT, whatever you get. But December 1st is still fall. It's not winter until December like 22nd, something like that, whatever the equinox is. Like the end of right before Christmas, basically, is the official first day of winter. And so I'm December 1st, which means I'm still a fall baby. But I don't want the fall to go. I want it to be summer all year. Maybe I need to move to a warm climate. There you go, right there. Let's see here. So there's my Auntie Regina. She got a birthday coming up in October. She loves the fall. And I know it's a bunch of you other Lock Stars that love the fall as well. So I ain't gonna hate it. To each his own. Fall is also a good time. So there you have it right there. But I see something in here that I almost missed. She gave us another title. Let me get my stick. Hold on, wait a minute. Happy Maritable Monday. Oh, with my tambourine. Happy Maritable Monday. She said she saw a great play last night called Ain't No Mo by Jordan Cooper, and it was hilarious. So she had a good weekend. Went and saw The Arts. I love that. Went and saw The Arts. That's pretty cool. Let me give a shout out right here. Josh Hunter, that's my bro. Good shout outs to him. Good morning, my brother. Yeah, good morning. Amazing vocalist, just amazing. One of those people with perfect pitch, and they have an unfair advantage. God gave those people an unfair advantage into the music world. So there's Josh Hunter. Y'all gonna show him some love. You hear some different songs and things that I've made. If you ever heard some songs, you probably hear Josh's background vocals all over it. I promise you, Josh, I use him all the time for backgrounds because he's that good. His voice tone is one that I like. So there it is right there. Let's see. Speaking of the weekend, Mama, Miss Sherry Staten says, I spent the weekend in my room watching the Thin Man movies. Oh, interesting. Okay, she spent it watching movies. That was good. Brony Cat says she made it to the Chicago House Festival. Oh, wow. She missed Ralph Rosario, but at least she made it to the festival. For those that don't know, house music originated right here in Chicago, and so we do a house music festival. I didn't get to it, but it's gotten bigger and bigger every year, and I'm glad that they finally recognize it because house music has taken the world by storm, and it is quite a shame that Chicago, as a city, waited so long to respect house music. It's a shame that they waited so long to respect house music the way they should have. So there it is right there. Let's see what else we got. We got Andrew. What's up, Drew? The drummer man. There he is right there. Drummer Drew Thomas. There he is right there saying good morning with the flip side. Good morning to you too, Drew. I had a chance to see him last weekend, a couple weekends ago at Ari and Keys' I guess that was last weekend. At Ari and Keys' wedding. Beautiful wedding. I had a chance to see them at that, and that was awesome, man. It was just good to catch up with people. Man, it's always so good to catch up with people. So there's Drew, an amazing drummer in his own right. So y'all go show him some love. Let's see here. Let's see. What else we got? I'm just trying to make sure I get to all the people. There's Rhonda talking about us at her show. Oh, no, sorry. Well, let me get to that one in a minute. Rhonda was talking about being at her show. She says we really dug deep. We did, man. I mean, at her show, her party. She says we really dug deep. We did. I don't even know how we got on that. I think I posed one question, and the conversation went like till well after midnight, and we was just outside in the garage, just having our own little praise party. Celebrating Rhonda on the Rocks. It was a good time. And then y'all check this out. Y'all know how I feel about the mamas of the show. Here's my wife's mama. That's my mother-in-law, Miss Sherry Banky. She's with us this morning. Y'all go show my mama some love. She says good morning and have a peachy Monday morning. I'm going to give that a tambourine and a cymbal hit. It's Peachy Monday. It's Peachy Monday today. You can have a Peachy Monday. That means it can be a sweet Monday. That means it can be, go ahead and have a sweet Monday. Yeah, I like that. That's amazing. So we'll do that. Let's see who else we got in here. Yo, my Aunt Cynthia. There she is right there. Cynthia Barnes. What's up, Auntie? Good morning, nephew. Well, good morning, Auntie. Y'all know the sisters be on here, boy. My Auntie Regina, who loves the fall, and there's my Aunt Cindy. Of course, they're sisters, in case y'all didn't know. And I got a couple other aunties. All the sisters, they be on, boy. They be, they make sure I'm all right. If they got my back, then I'm okay. I'm okay if they got my back. So there you have it. My auntie, I love you, auntie. Love you, Aunt Sid. Tell Uncle Al that I said what's up too. My uncle's one of the cool people. So tell him I said what's up too. Because I know he probably watching while you sitting there. I know he probably watching. So good morning to him as well. Let's see here. Here's Tammy. Y'all give it up for Tammy. There she is right there. Good morning, fam. Happy magnificent Monday. Shine bright today. And of course, I got a reason to take my tambourine and beat my cymbal and annoy my wife. Magnificent Monday, shine bright. Yes, let the magnificence that you have inside of you shine bright today. Y'all go show Tammy some love. And then I forgot to tell you, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I shot a music video this weekend on Friday. It came out pretty decent. And guess who shot it? This man on the screen right here, Christopher Truehood, saying, yo, good morning, bro. Keep it prayed up Monday and keep pushing forward into Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and call that an affirmation. Prayed up Monday. If you're going to do anything this week, start it off with some good prayer, man. I don't know what your prayer life is like. I don't know what your religious belief systems are. I don't know any of that. But whatever they are, lean into the positivity. And we're talking about struggle addiction when we get back. But at least start it off with prayer. So thank you for that reminder, True Hood, who had shot my video this weekend. And so that was really cool. Let's see here. Oh, look at Marcus, DJ Red. He was on YouTube, but he came to Facebook in case YouTube deleted his comment. I'm sure that's what he did. He said it's Masterpiece Monday. I'm shaking my tambourine and beating my cymbal. Masterpiece Monday. You are God's masterpiece, created to be impactful. You're not average. Tune in to Zeke Live in the morning. Like, share, subscribe, and I love this hashtag. You got this. If you don't remember nothing else, at least remember that you got this. Go ahead and lock in with that. You got this. You are okay. You are God's masterpiece. Fearfully, wonderfully made. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof. The world and they that dwell there. You belong to God. You belong to Him. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. When He created you, He didn't just say you was good, but the Hebrew text says you are very good. So, lock into that. Stop letting yourself be surrounded by nonsense when God sees you in better light. So see yourself through God's eyes. I love that. Thank you for that. Look who it is. It's Miss Bell, Miss Carol. What's up? Haven't seen you in a long time. There she is right there. I know she corrected it. She corrected it, y'all. She corrected it. But this ain't the first time my name has been spelled like this. Xeke. If you ever hear anybody calling me Zexe, we had that happen before. I had an ex. They spelled my name on Rainbow Push one year. One episode. I used to do a lot of stuff with Rainbow Push, Jesse Jackson and them. And one time we looked at the screen, because you can see the screens on the stage, and they had on there Zexe. So then everybody started calling me Zexe. Like, what's up, Zexe? Like, so if you ever hear me get called Zexe, it's not the first time an X has been put in my name. Of course, I've got new X. So I used to direct LXW. So there's a lot of X's in my life, apparently, that are attached to my name. So y'all go show her some love. There she is right there. She said this morning she's serving coffee to students in the College Church Cafe. So y'all hear me talk a lot about Olivet. Y'all hear me talk a lot about, some of the stuff that went on at Olivet and all that kind of stuff like that. But there were some people who made it worth being there. This is one of the people that made it worth being there. I love this lady here. I promise y'all. She's a twin. And so her and my mom, my mother made sure I knew them because my mom's roommate. So there you go. In college, my mom's roommate. Ain't that crazy how these connections happen? They say your college friends are the ones that you keep for life. And that has been true in my life. I don't know if that's been true for y'all, but that's been true for my mama and them. So there you have it right there. Let's see here. I did an interview with Hood. I forgot about that. I told you I had a busy weekend. I did an interview with Hood for something. So make sure I got that. I don't know if you sent it to me or not. In case you did, maybe you did and I just didn't see it. I don't know. I've been busy this weekend. I'm still thinking it's like Friday or something. I don't know, man. I'm so out of there. But yeah, I did an interview, and so that was cool. Let's see here. And then before we get into the next music break, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. My Aunt Sis says it's Money Monday. I like that. There's an excuse to take my tambourine and beat my cymbal because it's Money Monday. Go to the money. Get to the money. Go ahead and do that. Let's see here. I got to change the track up, though, for this next one. It's Money Monday. And speaking of the people who make sure that, that I'm making the money, making sure I make the money. This lady right here. There she is right there. My wife, y'all. There's my wife, Mrs. Locke. There she is. Good morning. Have a mellow Monday. Ooh. I don't know if she wants me to shake the tambourine and beat the cymbal for that one because it's supposed to be mellow. But I'm going to do it anyway. Mellow Monday. Great party, Rhonda. Congrats again. That's from my wife, and that's from both of us. Yeah. Congrats on Rhonda on the Rocks. Yes, all of that. Y'all go show my wife some love. That's the first lady of the show. That's what we'll call it. The first lady of the show. My wife, she rubs my head when I'm feeling, a little tired. She hugs me when I'm feeling overwhelmed. All weekend long, every time I started feeling a little overwhelmed, I'm like, oh, babe. And she just treat me like that. I just, it's good to be married. It's nice to have a wife. I ain't gonna lie. It's nice to have a wife. It's nice. It's usually nice to have a wife. It's usually nice most times it's nice to have a wife. Very often it's nice to have a wife. Sometimes it's nice being married. I'm just messing. I'm messing. I love being married. I love my wife. And I thank y'all for loving her as well. So y'all go show the first lady some love. Mrs. Locke. We're going to see what happens when I get back in there. She going to take this tambourine and this cymbal from me. So, all right, y'all, when we get back, we will be diving more into our topic. When we come back, we're going to dive into this topic right here, man. This topic that is really good. I think this is a good topic and a great way to start the week off. Struggle Addiction Explained. Struggle Addiction. So, we're going to get back and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Struggles as identity and familiar chaos. Have we made our identity in struggle? Have we found our identity in struggle? I don't know. I don't know. That's for you to figure out. That's not for me to figure out. We just gonna talk about it. I tell you what. Since we got True Hood here, why don't we play one of his songs? We'll play a couple of songs here, and when we get back, we gonna dive and dissect into struggle as an identity. Oh man. All right, we'll be right back with more Zeke Live in the Morning. You can keep on engaging in the comments. I love it when you do. It's always really good. All right, we'll be right back right after this break. Shout out to True Hood. Yeah.
Situation where you don't know where to turn.
Right back with more Zeke Live in the Morning.
People just want to guide you a certain way.
Everything that's in my mind all the time. Oh,
that's right.
Sometimes I really want to let go.
Sometimes I feel like nobody hears me out.
I don't feel like I want to cry no more. I ask myself, why do I go this way or that way to you, Lord? Can you tell me what am I supposed to do, my Lord? I feel like I'm losing you.
Like in certain situations, we feel like nobody else hears us out. We know that God keeps on saying, come this way, when negative and enemies just pull you that way.
So many people in my mind all the time. So many people telling me what to do all the time. Am I doing this wrong, my Lord? Should I keep listening now, my Lord? What should I do or say when negative come my way? People say don't pray and worry, but my mind keeps saying I should go this way.
Sometimes we just don't have a guidance. But the Lord just keeps saying, come this way. When you have bills, situations, problems, heartaches, you just go the opposite way when the Lord just keeps saying, come this way. You just say, I should go this way. But negative want to tell you to go that way. When the Lord just keeps telling you to go this way.
Shout out to True Hood. Here's the editorial with Stay With Me. When we come back, we're diving into our topic today. Hey.
Sometimes I live righteously and holy. Why do I have to go astray? Forever want your eyes on me. Mwari inindo funga kuti natata papi. It's all me. I know. The evidence all around me. You are here, I know. So stay with me. Oh, Papa God, won't you stay with me? Yeah. From my nanny, stay with me. Say you'll be there. Stay with me, Papa. Obstacles will test my faith, inhibiting purpose. I tripped up one too many times. When I fall, Munoti, I'll rise again. It's all me, I know. The evidence all around me. You are near, I know. nanny. Stay with me. Say you'll be there. Stay with me, Baba. So stay with me. Oh, Papa God, won't you stay with me? Yeah. For my nanny. Stay with me. Say you'll be there. Stay with me, Baba.
Yo, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. I love that. I love that song. Shout out to True Hood. Shout out to Hood on his song, and shout out to Anatory. Y'all know I love that song. That's Stay With Me. Me and my wife were literally just having a conversation right now. You probably heard me say, "Oh, close the door, close." Because I hit the mute button right when I said it. But yeah, I was, you know, we just asking how do we show somebody that they still are connected to God. And it's crazy that song was playing while we were having that conversation. Like, you know, like that's a good cry out right there, that the Lord would stay with us, that He'd stay with us. And I believe He has never left us. It's maybe us who stop recognizing it, but He's never left us. Can I say good morning to one more person, y'all? Can I say good morning to one more person? My mama, that's my mama, y'all. There she is right there. Dr. Lisa Dyson, my mommy, the lady who birthed me, fed me, clothed me, gave me whoopings when I was acting messed up. And there she is right there. And, when I get sick, I still call her. I got a whole wife at home, but I still call my mom and be like, "Mom, I'm sick. What am I supposed to do?" So there she is, and she gave me an excuse to ring my tambourine. She says, "Good morning, blessing for a beautiful day. Man, on Monday, He will supply all your needs. It's okay to ask and trust the Lord." And I love that. I love that. It is okay to ask. It is okay to trust. And there He is. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, I know I said one more, but okay. Expect a call from me today, Tony. There's my cousin, Tony. Yo, Jerry A. Thompson Jr. Y'all know one of the best episodes we ever had on Zeke Live in the Morning. I reference it all the time. Is the episode that this man was on the screen. There he is right there. Jerry A. Thompson Jr. I call him Tony. That's my cousin, Tony. That is, if I had to say I had one mentor above all mentors, it would be this guy right here. There he is right there. But he's my cousin too. So I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky. Maybe the Lord knew and gave me the blessing because I got him in my corner. So there he is right there. Y'all need to go back and check that episode. Just search out Jerry A. Thompson on the episodes. There y'all right there. So expect a call from me today, because I've been thinking about you for the last day or two. And this what's crazy, this is the fourth time this has happened where I said I was thinking about somebody, I need to call them in the week, and they beat me to it. So that's probably the fourth time that's happened in the last week. So there's always something good that ends up coming out of that. So I'm going to say hey. And look, my mama and Auntie Regina are all saying hey to Tony. See, they get excited. When Tony come around, everybody get excited. You see what I'm saying? There it is right there. Look, Brown just saying hey, Tony. We all love Tony. Tony is, I'm telling you, you want to go back and watch that episode. You want to go back and watch that episode because it kind of actually deals with some of the stuff we're looking at today, right? Struggle addiction. Man, have we been addicted to the struggle? Let me look for something here real quick. We are creatures of habit, right? I think that, as humans, we are definitely creatures of habit. We're definitely, that's well known. That's psychologists, anthropologists. They'd all say that. They'd all say that same thing. We're creatures of habit. We go into the things that are familiar. We look for patterns, right? That's why you get all these conspiracy theorists and all that kind of stuff. They're always looking for some explanation, always looking. That's what we do as humans. That's what we do. But for some of us, that pattern seems to be it's addicted to chaos. It's I'm sorry, not addicted to chaos. We're addicted to chaos, but attached. I'm sorry. For some of us, it looks like that pattern has to be attached to some form of chaos. Now, I get it. Struggle just happens. It is what it is. You really can't get away from. You really can't get away from issues. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how popular you are. I don't care how spiritual you are. I don't care how what's all the other things, how many friends you have. I don't care about none of that. Struggle just happens. Stuff just, there used to be a really popular not hashtag before hashtags were hashtags. There used to be a really popular bumper sticker, right? Ish happens, right? And then say ish happens, but y'all get it. I'm trying to keep it respectful because my mama is on the show. But ish happens. Y'all know, like, remember that? And then with the smiley face, the whole thing, remember that? Like, stuff just happens. It is, even Jesus said in this life, you will have struggle. Like, it is what it is. Nothing wrong with struggle. There's nothing wrong with understanding how to maneuver through struggle. There's nothing wrong with understanding how to get through struggle. We got to figure some things out. Sometimes the struggle lasts a little bit longer. Sometimes you can set yourself up with, we try to do this where we set ourselves up with enough infrastructure and structure and things that help us get over the struggle, get past the struggle, or mitigate the struggle. We try to avoid it at all costs if we can, but at the same time, sometimes stuff just happens. In nature, we call it an act of God, for instance. You can't a bit more control an earthquake or a tornado or a hurricane or something than you can, but you can have things like insurance, right? So the struggle happened, but you had some kind of plan to get you through the struggle. So there's struggle. But for some of us, it's like our entire identity becomes attached to the very struggles itself. I told y'all when I was over in Africa, and I don't think I'm embarrassing the person. Y'all don't know who the person is. He might know who he is, and it is what it is. But when I was over in Kenya, we just had a lot of issues. Like I said, we're on the other side of the world in every other respect, right? Like, and all this stuff that goes wrong. We are at the whims of the people that are hosting us and around us, and for some reason, we just kept running into issue after issue after issue after issue after issue but every time there was an issue, there was like a particular person who was able to like just overcome the issue. Like, car breaks down, they got a bus on the way. We supposed to be at this place and that gets canceled. So we end up at another place doing a concert over here instead. We supposed to have this going on. And then me and my friend Isaac were sitting there and we're talking about it one night, and we said, you know what? Because we were roommates the first couple nights when we were in Nairobi, and we were up late one night just talking, and we were just like, you know what? Like, in order to, and like, it seems like he's really good in this chaos, he's really good in this struggle, but it seemed like he's also the one that's keeping the chaos going. He's keeping the struggle going. It seems like this is where he's found his entire worth, is in being able to get us out of struggle. But that means that if there's no struggle, then what is he good for? And so I'm wondering, and this is an open-ended question to everybody. Like, have we allowed our own identities at times to get attached to struggle? Have we allowed our own identities to be attached to struggle? Like I said, humans, we are creatures of habit, right? We're creatures of habit. We find, we find patterns, we find all that stuff. We get our routines, we get our religious practices. That's one you can take back with you and think about later. The terminology I chose to use right there, the religion that we had, right? It's about practice. It's about repetition. It helps things lock in. That's fine. That's all good. But for some of us, because we were so steeped in struggle and issue, here's the question I have for you. Did you come from a place where you were always in so much chaos, always in so much struggle, that now that's what feels familiar? And because it feels familiar, it's where you feel the most comfortable. If I'm being completely honest, there have definitely been times where I felt that, maybe some of the chaos to some degree was the most familiar thing, like, because I know I can. For me, it's more of the, like I said, if I can be vulnerable, if I can be honest, for me, it's sometimes more of the fact that I just know how to get stuff done. I know how to, when it's time to do stuff, like even when stuff is moving fast, I just know how to get it done. I know how to maneuver through. Like I said last Friday, sometimes being good at a whole lot of stuff is not a brag. Sometimes that's an indictment. You're good at a whole lot of stuff, which means it's difficult to just focus in on one thing. But it also means you can maneuver through when issues happen. So a lot of times I don't put a whole lot of planning into stuff. I'm being vulnerable right now, y'all, okay? I'm being vulnerable. So don't y'all go talking about me because I'm sensitive about my ish, in the words of Erica Badu. You know what I mean? Like, that means sometimes I'm not putting the planning that's necessary into things. I'm really this week disciplining myself. We got a group chat, me and the co-host, we all have a group chat, a group text. And even as we're going through this, I'm being much more disciplined about the show, because I tell y'all what, it's so many days where y'all might think that the show was planned out and all that, but I literally wake up and at 7:11, 7:10, 7:12, like the show title that gets put up and the show theme and all that stuff got made up at that time, like 7:10, like 7:15, like, oh, I guess we got to do Zeke live. Let me think of a thing. And listen, it goes over okay. It goes over well. Y'all still lock in with us. Y'all are still here. But like, how much better could it have been if it had some pre-planning? How much more could it have been if it had if it had some structure put behind it, not one that just got made up on the spot? Yes, I can do that on the spot. And there are times where that skill absolutely comes in handy. Listen, I've been in so many situations where things were just haywire. And because I'm able to do that, we were able to make things happen. But why do that when I don't have to? When the same amount of time and effort if it takes 5 minutes to come up with a show, why not do that 5 minutes of coming up with the show? Why not do that the night before, the week before, knowing it's going to come up, and then my mind is off of it? Because at the end of the day, even when you're good at it, and again, I'm talking to myself, I'm being vulnerable, I'm using my own self as an example. I'll carry my own cross, and y'all can carry yours if it resonates with you. But just because I can do it doesn't mean that it doesn't take any less mental pressure. It still adds a mental pressure. It still adds so could it be that some of the stresses and things that I feel is because I allow myself to thrive in the chaos, but ultimately I'm the one that's creating the chaos because I refuse to do certain things. Are you in that position? Are you one of those people who you're good at just doing stuff like on the fly? You're good at doing stuff on the spot, but do you have to? You know what I mean? Like, do you have to? Did it have to be that way? Could some pre-planning have happened? Could you have had some people set up? Could you have delegated? I know I'm bad at delegating. Listen, I'll take it on for my own self, but this creates a level of chaos around me, and that's different chaos for different people. Some people have some real issues going on. Some people got drama. Some people baby mama drama, and you didn't learn your lesson with the first 4 kids you had, so you wouldn't have 6 more around with a whole bunch of other baby mamas. It's like and the first 4 was yelling at you. Now you got 6 more yelling at you. And and I know people like that for real. They just right? Like literally like 10 kids, 9, 10 kids. Literally. I know people like that for real with different baby mamas, and they all the drama and the struggle. And it's almost like they thrive on it. They love it. Like people who go into churches, for instance, a lot of us go to church. They go into churches, and instead of being able to find the good around the space that they're in, they start trying to pick apart all the issues and all the stuff. It's like they just stir stuff up. I had a family member. I won't say which one. I'll just say I had a family member I got a few family members. I think we could all say this. I got a few family members, and all of us, again, can probably testify to this, who it seems like the only usage they have inside the family is to be the one that just stir a whole bunch of stuff up. So they're not happy unless everybody ends at the reunion fighting and fussing. Like by the time it's all done, the cats and the dogs fighting with each other. Everybody just fighting, everybody yelling, and it's like they the ones that done stirred it up. So they got the me and I don't know, me and my cousin are on good terms. We're on speaking terms. We done put some stuff behind us, and then here comes a person or that family member that comes in, and it's like, so are y'all not fighting no more over the remember, you don't remember when he did that to you? Yeah, see, because he done it, and now they drudging up all the old stuff. You don't remember when he said this about you, and then he did that. See, I don't know about y'all. I wouldn't let that happen. I wouldn't do just stirring up nonsense. It's like the identity attached to that. Because unless there's chaos going on, unless everybody's fighting, unless everybody's arguing, they almost feel like they're not recognized. They're not seen. I think a lot of times we see this happen as well with people who are, some folks who have been, maybe through traumatic experiences as children, where they just grew up in a lot of chaos and they never quite learn how to live peacefully, how to live in freedom. They never quite learn it because it's just familiar, going house to house, because maybe they came up in a foster system. I'm not knocking. I'm really not. I understand they got it tough. I did not live that life. I did not experience that. I had a good growing up, I had a good childhood, so I've never experienced it. But we do see patterns of that happening in folks a lot of times who came out of those systems where they just stir stuff up, because at least in the stir up of the mess, at least in the stir up of the chaos, for some people, they can get lost in it. If everybody else is tripping, if everybody else is struggling, then they can get lost in it and maybe fall back into the, and for some people, if I can keep chaos up with you, if I can keep you in some chaos, then you won't point out what's wrong with me. But so their identity again gets attached to it. So my question for y'all is, how often have we fallen into that? Like I said, I use myself as an example. I fall into it all the time, where I just, because I'm able to kind of do that. And then people give you, for some degree, people will give you praise. Like, like I said, we were praising the guy over in Kenya, where it was like, hey, he can, he made this happen when this happened. When the bad thing happened, he made a way out of no way. When he did, and then, for some people, it really be like that. For me, it was the same. It's the same, because you get that praise. Oh, Zeke, you were really good in that situation. So it's not necessarily that I try to create it around me, but sometimes it's just because not planning, not pre-planning, not putting the stuff, just because I can. Where do you fall on that spectrum? And that's a moment for introspection for each of us. That's a good moment for introspection. Like, because again, that becomes like this validation through the suffer, right? Like, oh, he's really good when, we didn't know what we were going to do, and he was able to come through and do something. I think that if you're going to be that kind of person, then maybe you need to be like a spinster, like an Olivia Pope. Some people get paid for it. If you're going to at least get paid for it, but think about it. Reality TV stars. I mean, that's one reason I don't care for reality TV. Now, if that's your bag, that's your vibe. Hey, I ain't knocking it. Go for it. Watch the reality TV. But I'm going to tell y'all one reason I do not like watching reality TV, because they intentionally create chaos just to see how these reality stars are going to react in it. And I don't like that. I don't like, that's not my vibe. I like some comedy. I like something that's a little bit more lighthearted. I got too much other chaos going on around my life than to have to sit up on TV and watch it all night. That's me. And that's my vibe, but there's a big market for reality TV, because some people like to see that chaos. I got one family member, I won't say who it is, but every time I look at them, they're always watching some mess, some reality TV mess. But I look at their life and it's almost like they're trying to relive what the reality TV shows are doing, and that to me is just wild. Like, why are you allowing yourself to be identified by struggle? If that's you, and if you've never thought about it like that, for some of us, we've never thought about it like that. So maybe I'm introducing a new way of thinking about it. But why? Why allow yourself to be, Why allow yourself to be defined by chaos? Wouldn't you rather be, just think about it for a minute. Like, would you rather be defined as and we'll get into this in a moment, would you rather be defined as the broke down, busted up, poor person? Or would you rather be defined as the person who, when you step in the room, the light comes on? Like, it's like you light up the room. Like, it's like you're the strong one. Would you rather be defined? Which way would you rather be defined? Again, for some of us, maybe we've never thought about it that way, but I can guarantee you, if you are the kind of person that's keeping your identity attached to struggle, people recognize that. If every time you walk in the room, it's like, oh, woe is me. I told you, that's why I like these morning affirmations that we do in the 8 o'clock hour, because it makes us have to think about our day a different way. For some people, they woke up this morning and the first thing that they say is, oh, here we go. I mean, I'll give you all this before we go to the next music break. I did this morning. My alarm clock went off. And I was really tired still. And the first thing I said, Mama, I'm sorry. But the first thing I said was, damn. Like, that was the first thing I said. That was and then I thought about it and I said, why did I just damn my day like that? Why did I just curse my day? I said, no. I looked at my wife and said, no. I get to get up and do this in the morning. Like, I'm tired. Yes, true. But I still have the energy enough to get up and do the show. I get to do this. I got a goal in mind going into the month of September. The team is talking about the goals and stuff for where we're taking the show next. And so to wake up and just immediately the first thing out of my mouth was, damn. Like, that's because I had to get up. Like, no, I get to get up. There's somebody else who, if they opened their eyes and rolled out of bed the way I did and got to walk off, they will be praising God for it, because, there's some paralyzed folks and some sick folks and some folks who's bedbound. But me, I woke up and the first thing that came out of my mouth was, damn. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? And I had to correct my own self. Why would I do that to myself? Why would I speak that over myself? Why would I want my day to be defined by that? And I see that as chaos. That's creating chaos right from the very. It's the little foxes that spoil the vines. And I see that as that. And so I had to correct my own self. And so now I'm asking you, are you in that same position? And can you think about it a little bit differently? Can you think about it a little bit differently and create for yourself a different situation that looks better, feels better, and moves your day along just a little bit better? Let's see what the comments are saying real quick, and then we're going to take a music break and come right back. Let's see here. Here's one. I like this right here. Brody Cat says she's in a poetry room now, and we're talking about recognizing stress and being free. Look at that. Some of the stresses that we put over ourselves, you can free yourselves from them. And so, I love that. Thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely. Like, recognize what those stresses are, and have you created those stresses? But you can free yourself from them by just changing, first off, the way you think about it so you can change the way you act on it. Good morning, Miss Tara Jones. Good to see her this morning. Oh, yeah. Good to see you today. And let's see what my cousin says. Let's see what he says. It says, Zeke, our struggles can be qualifying, developmental, or consequential. Think about it. Yes, they can be qualifying. Think about that. Developmental. Your struggles can help to develop you. They can help to qualify you for things. And they can be consequential. Yeah. And those are things you can learn from, because everything can be a lesson learned. Yeah, absolutely. But the issue for me becomes when it becomes the thing that it's validating. And that is, so, when you attach yourself to the struggle, some people attach themselves to the struggle. Listen, this man right here, let me tell you, if y'all need somebody, I'm just going to give a shameless plug, and we're going to take a music break right here. If y'all need to go find somewhere to follow, he's got Live Free. The movement called Live Free. And if you need to see somebody who can help you get through some of that stuff, when we're talking about dealing with struggle and all that, let me tell y'all something right here. This is the man right here. Go follow his page. Trust me. The stuff he posts, it'll get you going real good. It'll help you out. If anybody can talk about this stuff, this is one right here. Let's take a music break real quick, and when we come back, we're going to hit some more of our topic. We're going to hit some more on it. We'll talk a little bit about, let's see what we're going to talk about. The fear of success. Are some of us struggling because we're fearing success? Scared of what success could be, what it looks like. Are we scared of that? Here's blessings on me, blessings on Teresa Fondo. We'll be right back.
I go, they'll be everywhere I go, they'll be blessings on me, blessings on me. Everywhere I go, they'll be everywhere I go, I can feel it. I can feel it. See His blessings all around me in every season, and I'm more than grateful. In the good times, in the bad times, oh, I count them, 'cause I know they're never stopping, and I know God is for me. His love all around me. He gives me more than I need. He makes my life oh so sweet. He makes my heart feel so free. Yeah. Blessings on me, blessings on me. Everywhere I go, they'll be. Everywhere I go, they'll be. Blessings on me, blessings on me. Everywhere I go, they'll be. Everywhere I go, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can see your blessings, and everything I do is like I'm special, yeah. You're the one that I run to when it's ghetto, yeah. I can see your blessings, 'cause you take my life and make it better, yeah. Never giving me more than I can handle, but still providing everyone of and I'm living in your blessings, covered in your holy, no more stressing, yeah. On you I have dependence, sticking to your word, so I live in your blessings. Blessings on me, blessings on me. Everywhere I go, they'll be. Everywhere I go, they'll be. Blessings on me, blessings on me. Everywhere I go, they'll be. Everywhere I go, I can feel it. Blessings and blessings and blessings on me. Blessings on me. I can everywhere I go, blessings on me.
Sometimes I feel suicidal, but I know I don't wanna die, it's just another trial. So I'm hanging on to life by the grab bars, hoping that the next time's far from the triggers that set me off. Every other night piling up the bottles, or I'm trying to make a pipe burn away the sorrow. I even hit the psilocybin, dog, I've been fighting for tomorrow. Gotta make it to tomorrow. I gotta make it to tomorrow. Listen now, I'm about to go outside, get a little bit of sunlight into my skin. About to take a jog for the endorphins, it's a sure thing. I know this depression won't take me out. About to make a call to my closest friend, get a laugh and hug myself in the mirror for a minute. I'm trying, you know, 'cause I wanna make it to tomorrow. I gotta make it to tomorrow. To say I'm not okay, I'm not ashamed at all. 'Cause one thing about me, yeah, I'm overcoming. I'm not afraid to say I'm not okay, I've been here before. One thing about me, I always overcome. And I know I'm gonna fly when I make it to tomorrow. When I make it to tomorrow, gonna make it to tomorrow. Oh, I gotta make it to tomorrow. Oh, I gotta make it to tomorrow. Oh, I till tomorrow.
And we back. Songs I really love. Song for that Make It to Tomorrow. I love that. I told y'all, some of y'all know my story. I've talked about, some of the stuff that's happened with me mentally, emotionally, all of that over the course of the last few years. Y'all heard me talk about that and discuss that. And that Make It to Tomorrow was one. I think that's right on time, that you can, for me, I ain't gonna speak for nobody else. I'll speak for me. It was a choice. Will I remain in this, depression, depressive thoughts, suicidal thoughts, stress, burnout, all the stuff that comes from it, with no productivity behind it. That's the other. There's no productivity, at least by my standards, by my measurements. No productivity. Like, for me, it really honestly became, am I going to stay in that? Am I going to stick in that? Or am I going to try something else? And so it just became, one day at a time. Sometimes that's all you need. So sometimes you just got to make it to tomorrow. If I could just make it through today and get to tomorrow, I know I'll fly when I get there. I saw one comment come across from my mother. Now, y'all know my mother is a licensed clinical counselor. So she deals with people on this kind of stuff all the time. But this comment that she put up, I thought was good. She says, comfort with chronic struggle is a warning sign. I like that. Comfort with chronic struggle is a warning sign, especially when you're not okay unless you're struggling. That's heavy, man. Some use struggle as an excuse not to progress. And, I think I might have fallen into that from a few times. I think that might have been me. I might have fallen into that a few times, a struggle, the excuse not to progress, not to move forward, because there's always an excuse. Again, if I can definitely say I've done that before, and y'all have probably done it too. If you be honest with yourselves, and if you haven't, then hey, give us the cheat code. But how often has it been that there could be a success that's there, but it's so much easier just to say, the reason I couldn't do it was because this happened, that happened, that you find all these other excuses, and like I said, I do that a lot, and I'm learning to catch myself in that, because I don't want to be defined by what didn't get done. I don't want to be defined by what didn't happen, and I think that there's a lot of places in my life where I've been defined by what did not happen, what could have been accomplished and did not get accomplished, and then of course that just creates this weird cycle of beating yourself up even more. You know what I mean? And so sometimes, like I said, it becomes like now subconsciously you attach to the struggle, right? So some people have this chronic struggle. Some people deal with a chronic struggle. They just always messed up. And that's that's the question that I have at hand. Are we scared of peace? Are we scared of peace? Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all know anybody like this? And if you are the person who is like this, then you can say for sure that you know somebody like this, and that where they always got an issue, and they always highlight the issues that they have. So every time you see them, you ask them how they doing, and the first thing that come out of their mouth is, well, I'm a toe hurt, I'm a little bit tired, I gotta deal with the job, I gotta deal with the wife at home, she got this, my husband is always getting on my nerves, I ain't got no food at the house, I'm about to lose my job, I'm about sick of them, I'm ready to end it, my kids got too much going on. Y'all remember Winnie the Pooh? Remember Winnie the Pooh? What was the donkey's name? I just said his name the other day. Eeyore. Remember Eeyore? When every time he was like, oh, Pooh, and everything was just always here. Oh my God. Oh, this is happening in my life. And just every time you see them, it's like that. I got a question for people like that. And if you're that person, do a little introspection. And I had to do this. I had to do this for myself. So I am using my own self as an example. Okay, I'm not talking about nobody but me. I see myself in the screen, eyes talking to me's. Okay, like I had to check myself because this is when I realized something was not right with me. I've always been a very jovial person. I've always been a very optimistic person. I've always been the kind of person who, like, I don't care what they're saying. I'm gonna still try it out at least. I'm gonna still like I've always been that kind. I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna plot it out. I'm gonna figure it out, get the steps, and do it. And then somewhere along the lines, I realized that when I would be talking to friends or something like that, and they ask how I'm doing, or we get to talking about something, I had more complaining than I had praising, if you will. Yeah, to use that word. I had more trial than I had testimony. I had more like so nothing was, optimistic outlook was gone. All of that was all gone. And all I had when they asked me how I'm doing, oh man, I'm trying to do da, but I can't get that done. I can't do such and such. And I'm not saying that you be like, ridiculously optimistic, because for some people, they put on a front. Yeah, of course there's struggle, there is issues, things happen, and it's okay to talk it out. I mean, that's how you deal with it, that's how you grow from it. Like Tony said, that's how, it can be developmental, it can be, like in that struggle and all that, and sometimes you got to deal with it. You can talk to people who can help you get through it. But when I started realizing that all my responses to people were all my responses were stuff like, dang, man, like, and people ain't really doing like they should, and this, that, and the other happened. And I started realizing, I said, wait a minute, where did this Zeke lock come from? Where did this Zeke lock come from? And then something hit me. I said, wait a minute, am I becoming scared of peace? Like, in one hand, I want peace. On one hand, I want to be cleared of the struggle. I want to be cleared of the drama. I want to be clear. But on the other hand, what am I actually going to do when peace actually comes? Like, have I struggled so long? Have I been down for so long? Have I been down for so long that if peace came up and slapped me in the face, which would be a wild thing for peace to do. I mean, that would be a wild thing for peace to do, come up and slap me in the face. But if peace came up and just slapped me in the face, would I even recognize it? Would I even want it? Would I even because when somebody asks me how I'm doing, am I even going to give them the kind of answer? Like, am I starting to take a certain level of joy in having this? Am I scared of peace? Let me ask y'all that. Are y'all scared of peace? And have you ever really thought about that in that sense? Have you ever really thought about it in the sense of being fearful of living free? I'm throwing that out there. Shout out to my cousin Tony, Live Free. Shout out to Live Free, Illinois. Shout out to Live Free. Freedom. For my church folks, y'all used to hearing this statement, whom the sun sets free is free indeed. Whom the sun sets free is free indeed. And we'll say that over and over and over and over again. And then walk right back into bondage, walk right back into arresting ourselves, into issues and struggle, because you know what? There's more, because some of this, let me put it this way, some of this is around who are you around? Because if you're around people that always got issues, that always have, we find ourselves around those kinds of people, then that becomes a relatable thing. I started noticing this. I was around a whole bunch of people who had a bunch of issues, and in order to relate with them, I found myself highlighting the issues I was having because they were highlighting the issues they had. And so, you've been sitting down with somebody and you ask them, you say, how you doing? And they're, oh my God, this is going on, Eeyore. They're doing all of that. Oh, this is, this bad thing is happening. And then next thing you know, your response becomes, yeah, man, I get it. Cause man, my car broke down and I had to do that about that. Next thing you know, you highlighting all the negative in your stuff. Now next thing you know, you become what you're around. Who you around? Because is that feeding into the chaos that you're highlighting in your life? Are you around people who help you to highlight the good? Or are you highlighting the negative because the people around you are highlighting all the negative? Birds of a feather flock together. You are the company that you keep. You are a direct reflection of the company you keep. And you become a reflection of it. Like, so you could start off here, but if you hanging around people here, then in order to relate to them, you got to come down here, which means the more you stay down here, the more you become that. And next thing you know, what was once here now dwells and lives down here. And again, I'm using my own self as an example. I had to do some real introspection and realize that that's exactly where I found myself. And I started saying, wait a minute. Okay. I can't be around people who thrive in drama. I can't be around people who thrive in chaos, who can't see beyond where they are. Listen, I'm not opposed to being the kind of person who can encourage. I'm not opposed to relating to people, but I tell you what I have become opposed to is living there. Because for some reason I took up residence there. And it took a minute to, like I said, it took a minute to get to a point where I said, wait a minute, wait, how did I end up here? Because now I found myself, like I said, at a place where it was like, if peace came up and slapped me in the face, would I actually even want that? Or would that challenge the relationships I have? See, because what ends up happening then, I keep using my own self as an excuse. Using my own self as the example. I mean, somebody, let's use music as an example. I've been blessed to be around some of the greatest musical minds. Like, I'm talking about my absolute idols, your idols, the people that y'all look up to. I have been blessed to be around these people, but because a lot of the people around me hadn't had that same blessing, if you will, they didn't have that same story, that wasn't their life, then they don't share those stories. So you know what they start doing? Here goes Zeke, name dropping. And in my mind now, I think that if I tell you a story about how I'll go ahead and name drop right now. If I tell you the story about how I was in the studio with Donald Lawrence, if I tell you the story about how I was on tour with Fred Hammond, if I tell you the story about how me and Donnie McClurkin had this whole thing about playing Phase 10, if I tell you the story about, singing and arranging a show for Sir the Baptist, if I tell you a story about, these are some of my idols. If I tell you the story about how, how James Fortune was getting on my nerves with that. And Christina Bell was there. We was like, oh my God, do not get on this bus at 2 a.m. talk about some never heard of them. Oh my God, go somewhere with it. If I tell you the story about how I was with Take 6 and they were the most encouraging people that was around me at one point in time because they loved what I was. If I tell you the story about being on the road and some of the stuff I heard from Charles Jenkins, I mean, again, if you're in the gospel world, in the gospel community, names I just named are huge names, big names. And these are my stories. These are real stories. Like, that ain't even name dropping. That's just my story. This is just my life. It just is what it is. But because I'm around people, or found myself around people who that wasn't their same thing, then now for them it's like it almost like it highlights that their life did not go where they thought it should go. Does that make sense? It almost makes them feel like, well, my life didn't go there, so man, I can't stand. So now they hating on me. They hating on the thing. So instead of me telling my actual story, the only way to relate to them is to talk about how this didn't work out and how that didn't work out and that. So now the only thing my mind is focused on in order to relate to these people, my mind is now focused on what didn't work out, what didn't go good. Psychologists will tell you this: your mind can only think about one thing at a time. Multitasking is a bit of a misnomer because your mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So if you're thinking about multiple things, it means that your mind is just moving back and forth. How quickly can your mind move back and forth from this thought to the other thought? So what you're focused on in the moment is ultimately what you're feeding. And what you feed is what will grow. And what grows is what you ultimately become. And so instead of me leaning into the blessings that I had, I worked hard to get to be able to tell them kind of stories. I worked hard to be able to say I signed a record contract. I worked hard to be able to say that I did like this big show like the Stellars and the Gospel Superfest. I worked hard to do all of that stuff. I worked hard to get there. I went through the struggle. I overcame a bunch of stuff. I did it. That was my story. but because I'm around people who didn't have the same success. And I'm not calling nobody. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying because I was around people and still to this day, because they didn't have the same thing, then they see the success as something that highlights what didn't work out for them. So now, in order to I got to muzzle my own good stuff. And in order to be relational with them, to relate to them, relatable, not relational, but relatable to them, then I find myself again now highlighting the stuff that didn't work out, even though a million things did work out. So I actually got testimonies, but instead of seeing them as testimonies, I see them as name dropping or as, and that's just one example. How many more examples do people have of that very kind of thing? So now, it was one of the fears of peace. Was one of the fears of having that kind of peace was that I was going to maybe lose people who are around me. And for some people, that's a legit fear. BC, because the people around me, we can relate in the struggle. We can't relate in the success, but we can relate in the struggle. So does that mean that I need to have, was I fearful of losing relationships? But what happens? Maybe you have to elevate and find new relationships. Was I fearful that if I lean into this, I might lose some other opportunity or something like that? Somebody might, scared that somebody might think that I'm the arrogant or something like that. Scared of opinions that people will have of me. Is that a fear? You're not at peace unless you are truly yourself. You're not at peace unless you are truly yourself. So the question is, do you believe that yourself? Do you believe that yourself? Do you believe that you can be in a good space, in a happy place, in a place of success, in a place that, even in your professional career, most of us are getting up today. We got to go to work, got to go work a job, do all that kind of stuff. Do you want the promotion? Do you want that? Do you want to stay in the position that you're in, or would you rather go up? Well, if everybody around you is not qualified to go up, but you are, what you gonna do? Are you scared you're gonna lose friends? Are you scared you're gonna, are you scared that things can look good? And for some of us, that's a real and legitimate fear, that things can look good because maybe we'll lose the people around us, or maybe we'll lose, again, the relatability. And I think for me, maybe I'm staying there because for me, that was one of the biggest things. When you're around people and stuff just don't work out, that just is what, it just... You're going to ultimately become that. Again, you are the company you keep. And so for me, it was the fear of maybe losing people around me, or losing or trying to always drag somebody up. My cousin Tony, I'm going to use something that he told me years ago. He told me this. I'm sure he don't even remember saying it, but he said this to me years ago. He said, imagine you were going uphill. So there's already a struggle to go uphill. And anytime you're going into promotion or anything else like that, there's a struggle to get there. There's enough struggle as it is. You got to overcome a lot. You got to deal with a lot. You got to move a lot of pieces. Imagine trying to drag somebody up a hill, some dead weight, you dragging them up a hill. Then you finally reach the pinnacle. Well, when you go up that hill, when you have to go up the next hill because you done reached that pinnacle. So now when you got to go up the next hill that you got to climb, because we always got mountains we got to climb. When you got to go up the next one, are you going to drag that same dead weight with you again? Or are you going to drop it off and be like, hey, I'm not trying to do that no more. So if you ain't got your mountain climbing gear this time around, you can't go. You can't. And I know for me, I have been, that has been my thing. But wouldn't it be better to just be in a peaceful situation? If people can't get with that, if people can't deal with that, what does that got to do with me? You know what I'm saying? People can't deal with the success. What does that have to do with me? If people can't deal with the good stories I'm telling and the name dropping, then what that got to do with me? That's their issue. That's their problem. They got to fall back then. But instead taking it on for myself and then learning how to thrive in that, because a lot of times people then will say, oh no, see, Zeke is just like us. He's just like, we struggle just like us. And we look for that sometimes, don't we? Celebrities are people. So I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but we look for that sometimes in our celebrities. Oh, they're people too. They have struggles and issues and they have problems and they have, right? Because it feels relatable. But Why are we always looking to relate to people here? Shouldn't we be looking at people and saying, wait, how did you end up here? How did you get here? You know, how did you get higher? How did you get to this higher position? How did you elevate? How did you get to, okay, so you had to climb a hill. Okay, what tools did you use to climb the hill? Instead, it's easier just to stay down here because that starts to feel familiar. That starts to feel like peace. But is that real peace? So are we scared of what peace could look like? I'm really curious now, Lock Stars. Have y'all ever found yourself in there? You know, what could peace actually look like? Have you ever sat with that? Have you ever wondered that for yourself? Have you ever tried to figure that out? Let's see what some of the comments say. We're going to take a music break and come back with Pastor Rich Holmes because the next thing we're going to talk about is how for some of us, we've spiritualized it. And for many of us who come from religious spaces, that might be the real key right there. For some of us, it's real practical. For some of us, it's being around people. For some of us, it's just the fear of being able to have peace. But for some of us, we see it as a spiritual tool. But let's see real quick, what have some of the comments said? My mother's in here. Let's see. But real quick, Brony Cat says, in a sense, I do believe that there is a part of us, we're afraid of what peace will look like. That's so good. Yeah. Afraid of what peace could look like. Because again, we're familiar, right? We're creatures of habit. We said that earlier, that humans are creatures of habit. We're creatures of, you know, patterns and other things like that. And so when chaos becomes the habit, then we don't really know what peace looks like. And some of us have never seen peace. And so because we don't know what it looks like, we're fearful of the things we don't know. And so we've never known peace. Then for some of us, it becomes fearful that don't know how to just sit back and chill. So yeah, that makes sense. I like that. Thank you for that, Brony Cat. Let's see. Let's see what my mom said real quick, because she had a few things in here and I want to hit those. She said, the result of struggle. The result of the struggle is the consequence. The result is struggle for struggle's sake. The rush is the reward. The rush is the high. Right? It becomes like a drug. Like treating like chaos addiction. It's an addiction to chaos. I think psychologists call it chaos addiction. We call it struggle addiction over here, but I think there's actually a psychological term, chaos addiction, where it's like you get a rush in your mind. It's like get some dopamine going or something like that. And the high is to be in the chaos and all of that, right? Just struggling for struggle's sake. And there's a problem when that's the case. Let's see here. I remember when the saints tried to top each other's testimonies by highlighting struggles and making it big to show how much God brought them through. Focus was more on the big struggle than the mighty God. And ain't that something, right? Testimony service. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about this when we get back from this music break with Pastor Rich Holmes about how people spiritualize this stuff. But y'all remember testimony services back in the day? Y'all remember those testimony services where, one person gets up and says, my knee hurts, and the other person says, both my knees hurt. So then the third person got to go up and say, well, I broke my back. And then the next person say, well, I died, and the doctor brought me. It's like we just kept highlighting the bigger the issue. And so eventually pastors had to stop testimony. So I was like, well, y'all doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. I'm gonna make one more, then we're gonna take this music break. It's time to make success and progress more normal and more popular than the struggle. Let's make struggle part of the process. I'm sorry, and not the end result. Let's make struggle part of the process and not the end result. And I love that. I think that is a good way to go into the next music break. I think that's a great way to go into the next music break. Let's make struggle part of the process. We know it's part of the process. We know that that's how it goes, but let's go ahead and make it part of the process as opposed to the end result. There are some people who just need it to be the end result, and we ain't trying to be those people. We ain't trying to be that. You can be okay. Things can be all right. Things can be all right. And with that in mind, let's play our friend Broken Vessel. Let's play this song. I just feel this song in my soul today. Let's just play this one. This is I'll Be Okay. The struggle may be there, but you'll be okay. Stop looking for struggle. Broken Vessel, Let's see what you got, brother. Hey.
You're a child of the King, and His love is supreme. Said He knows your days and He knows your nights. You were more than just a spy. It cannot be described how you feel with pride when you choose to walk in His side and under His care you want to reside. I know. Sometimes this life will go after your smile. Try to pull that away from you. Oh, but don't allow the pressure to make you forget who you are. Beloved, be encouraged. Beloved, we got a promise from heaven, so we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. We're okay. There is nothing that can keep us from the life that we have in Jesus. So we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. We'll be okay. Be encouraged.
You alright?
You okay?
And my lupus is acting up. So I'll be alright. I'll be okay.
I'm standing on your promises, you haven't failed me yet. You're not a man that you should lie, so I never fret. I'm so encouraged, you gave me courage, you comfort me. With the still small voice, you said you never leave. From that moment on, I knew everything was okay. Cause you conquered everything, even death in the grave. Now who am I that you should love me and have in my praise? When it comes to your ways, Lord, I'm so amazed. You remain the same, yet daily you're brand new. When I think about it, nothing compares to you. Not gold, diamonds, and pearls, Lord, I adore you. The Prince of Peace, remove the thief from this temple. You're the Lord and King of Kings upon the throne. I give you glory, and glory is God and God alone. Your love is unconditional, I gotta let the world know. Nothing can separate us, no matter where I go.
Encouraged, beloved, we got a promise from heaven, so we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. We're okay. There is nothing that can keep us from the life that we have in Jesus. So we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. We'll be okay. Be encouraged, beloved. We got a promise from heaven, so we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. We're okay. There is nothing that can keep us from the life that we have in Jesus. So we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. We'll be okay. But there are times when I forget this and I give into pressure and I make mistakes. Tell me, what should I do? Sometimes it's a relapse. If you relapse, gotta retrack. If you retrack, it'll lead back to the King that'll bring peace back. With your peace back, you can think right. When you think right, you can see light. With the right sight, then your life's tight and your Christ walk will be alright. Be encouraged, beloved. We got a promise from heaven, so we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. We're okay. There is nothing that can keep us from the life that we have in Jesus. So we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. We'll be okay. Be encouraged, beloved. We got a promise from heaven, so I'm alright. We're okay. We're alright. We're okay. There is nothing that can keep us from the life that we have in Jesus. So we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. We'll be okay. Be encouraged, beloved. We got a promise from heaven, so we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. That can keep me from there is nothing that can keep us from the life that we have in Jesus. So we're alright. We're okay. We're alright. We'll be okay. Yes, we will. We said, oh yes, we will.
Hey, Broken Vessel. Shout out to Broken Vessel with that amazing song. I love that song so much. We are all right. We are okay. That's what peace looks like, y'all. That's what peace looks like. That's what peace looks like. And for some of us, we asked the question a little earlier in that last segment there. Are we scared of peace? Are we scared of things actually working out? Are we scared of losing people? Are we scared of, like, what are we scared of? That things can actually work out? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're scared of that. Maybe we're scared that things can actually be good. Maybe we're scared that things can actually work out. I don't know. It's just introspection as we go into this new week, as we go into this, that's kind of what it is. And hopefully you're getting something out of that. I know I'm getting something because I'm not just the hair club president, but I am also a member. So yeah. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to take, my peace more seriously. One of those ways we do it, we overwork. I didn't even get into that. How many of us overwork ourselves? We just overwork ourselves and just constantly don't know how to say no, right? I remember somebody saying, I think it was Mama, she said that no can be a complete sentence sometimes, saying no. Like, people just take over your schedule. People just take over your life. And you just allow it to happen. And just like, no. I'm starting to protect my peace. Protect my peace. And I think that y'all should do the same thing. Protect your peace. Don't let somebody just come in and just take over your life. Take over and put all their issues all on you. Yeah, we ain't doing that no more. We ain't doing that no more, baby. All right, y'all. Before we get into this next thing, I asked this question. I said, do we have a tendency to spiritualize the struggle? So this is for all my folks who are from the church world, who are from the religious spaces, all that. And I got somebody who can maybe help me hash out this conversation a little bit. One of my co-hosts, one of my best friends in the entire world. Love him dearly, love him to death. It's my man's, my homie, my friend, my dog, and y'all know him as Pastor Rich Holmes. Y'all mind if we bring Pastor Rich Holmes to the stage? Y'all mind if we do that? Pastor Rich Holmes, there he is right there. Yo!
Big lot.
What up, Doc? All the lost stars are here.
Yeah.
What's up, Doc?
Hey, it's all good, bro. How you feeling? You good?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty all right. I'm talking about this struggle and all that stuff like that, and how we dealing with struggle and all those things. And one of the ways that I sometimes allow struggle and chaos to happen is I don't be planning. So today I've been a little bit more planned out. I've been a little more planned out.
Yes, sir. That's important for sure.
Absolutely. How you doing today? Huh? A haircut? No, I ain't got no hair. I got to slick back. I got my 80s on. I got my 80s going. I got my curls. I let the curls shine today. I look like I got a Jerry curl.
Yeah, so glow. I see you. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I'm just letting it shine through. I'm just.
Long as Mrs. Sticks, Mrs. Locke loves it, that's all that matters, man.
Oh, she loves it. Yeah, she likes it. She cool with it. She rub her, she do a little hand too, One of the ladies at the church, she was like, I like that hairstyle. You do. I like that. I'll keep on wearing your hair like that. That's
old school flirting when you put the hand behind it. Oh, watch it. That's it.
I gotta start doing it.
Watch it.
Yo, I gotta say one quick good morning. The mamas of the show, look who just popped in on us. Mama Pastor Cynthia Cohen. We gotta say good morning to her. That's Rhonda on the Rocks' mama. So say good. I gotta say, I'll go say good morning, all of y'all. Go say good morning to Mama Pastor Cynthia Cohen. There she is right there. Always good to see her and hear from her. Yeah. And then Rhonda on the Rocks is saying good morning to you. She wants to know, how did you enjoy the ride?
Man, I heard it was amazing. I heard it was nothing like none other. It was a party like none other. All the pictures and videos I saw, oh my goodness, it seemed like it was the place to be. So Zeke, you made it?
I did make it. I made it super hella late, but I made it. I made it.
Man, I heard it was a great party. Much shout out to you, Rhonda on the Rocks. Keep on supporting y'all, just like me. I'm gonna support all day. Show up.
She said you owe it too. There you go.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
It's that flight, man. It's that flight. I know. I already know. You gotta catch that flight to drive that far.
Man, with the kid, man, it's a tough schedule, but it's gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen because You cool, Rhonda. I like being around you, so I got to make it happen for sure. I support. So yeah, MO2 put me out there. It's real. I ain't hiding. I ain't scared of it.
Oh my Lord!
A memorable moment. The moment I make there. Oh my God, that's gonna be the party of the century. Everybody should have been there when I make it. Call everybody.
You bring the party with you. The party don't start unless you there.
There you go. I'm bringing everybody with me. Let's go. We all going to see Rhonda. I'm bringing the lock stars, the rock stars, the home stars, the view stars, all the stars that I can find. Okay, Starlight, Starbright, all of them gonna pull up wherever you at, your location. Drop that locate. We there. On next time. That's next time. I get all that interview. For the next time.
Well, she says you all good. She love you still, so there you go. That counts for something. Man, Doc, I think you're a good one for this right here. We are talking, of course, about how we have sometimes allowed our identities to be attached to struggle. And, it's a very introspective episode today. And I thought it'd be good to do that on Monday so that we can start focusing in on it, at least for me. I don't know what the lock star is going to do, but I know for me that I'm going to start focusing in on that during this week. In what ways am I inviting struggle as opposed to just going through it? Because obviously struggle happens. We know it. This is part of life. It is what it is. You go up some mountains and you got to climb some mountains sometimes. Some mountains you speak to them and say be removed. Other mountains you just got to climb them. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But like my mom said earlier, making struggle a part of the process as opposed to the end result. So, this week being a lot more intentional about not seeing struggle as the thing that we just supposed to always do, always be in, because there are times where we've identified ourselves to struggle and to chaos and to drama for whatever reason. Some of us grew up in it. Some of us, whatever the case may be. Some of us just be around people who always got some kind of struggle issue going on. So, so whatever reason, but being a little bit more intentional this week about saying, I'm not going to live in that no more. I'm looking for peace. I'm looking to live free. I'm looking to break some cycles over me. But one thing that I realized, though, for some people who come from religious spaces, particularly those of us who come from these religious spaces, one thing that we oftentimes deal with is that struggle has been so over spiritualized that, it becomes this thing of God wants you to struggle. God wants me to struggle. God wants me. And historically, this has been a thing. I mean, you got some people who have gone as far as, they got the little whips that they, in ancient times, you'll see people with like whips and stuff. And every time they mess up, they beat themselves with it. And they get it's like, I got to go through struggle. If too much good stuff happens, then, I can't share the good that's going on. I got to always got to find God in the chaos as opposed to finding God, in the peace. The same God of chaos is also the same God who calmed the storm or lays you beside quiet waters. But some people don't really focus in on that spot. They focus in on the God of just always being a God of chaos. And so, some churches we go into and we hear the conversation, oh, God will bring you through. God, this, that, and the other, so then you end up in all kinds of things like deliverance services and all kind of stuff like that, where people come down to the altar to get delivered on, what was yesterday, the 24th. So by the 31st next week, they'll be back down getting delivered from the same thing again, just getting a little bitty hit just to get them through all the struggle that they got to go through. And then so folks keep focusing on the struggle and showing God in that area, as opposed to showing that God can also be the God of peace. And it can start from a place of peace. Struggle may happen, but peace is the goal. So I asked the question, I put this query out there for people. I said, do we have a tendency to spiritualize struggle? So you're a pastor extraordinaire. What do you think about that? Do we have a tendency to spiritualize struggle?
If I'm understanding the question correctly, you're saying based on how we tend to look at struggle as being something God wants us to do, as being the spiritualized aspect of it. Just to make sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like he wants us to struggle. God wants us to have chaos. God wants us to struggle.
I don't know.
And I'll say this real quick before you go into it. Maybe some people don't word it that way as seeing it as God wants us to, but their actions definitely show that they have a belief. Their actions show that they believe God wants us to. And so you hear it in their language, even though they may not directly say, well, God wants me to struggle. They'll say God wants me to have peace, but everything they do is showing that God wants them to struggle. You know?
Yeah. I got you. I believe just off scripture, what I look at, and then off life, a struggle or trial, as I look at it, trials are part of life. Like they're part of the journey. My biggest thing is, how do we handle it? I mean, Jesus even said trials, you'll have it all the time of many kinds, right? But the biggest thing is to fret not. Why? Because I've overcome them all. So even though the trials are there, we don't want to get stuck in the trial. I don't think our focus should be just on the struggle in itself as being the end goal, as I believe Mama Lisa said. But yet, rather, if we lean to learn, that's one thing I'm learning now. You know, we're going to have struggles. We're going to have success. For me, I used to look at success all the time. Success is a great thing, man, to the point I started looking at some people are still really struggling. So let me try to understand, what are we struggling from? So my success lens, I still got success. Everything is great. But I want to lean in. What is this struggle? What is this trial? What happens when trials come through? What am I supposed to do when I feel like there's nothing I can do? What am I supposed to do when the weight of the world is all over my head and it's struggling? I can't breathe and all those things like that. And so I need to learn, well, what's the lesson in this? I got tired of failing. I shared that story many a times. So what is the lesson in this trial? What is the lesson in this struggle? Because if I stay here, I know the end result, I'm going to keep on struggling. If I know the end result, I'm going to keep on sinking. So why not shift my mind, shift my circle, shift something in order to get something new if I want a better result? Because I already know this result. If I stay in a struggle, I'm going to be suicidal. I already know this result. If I stay struggle, I'm not going to be able to have a great relationship with my wife, a husband, a spouse, or significant others, whatever that can be. I can be drowned in this struggle. Yeah, we're grateful that Jesus is there to pick us up. But if you don't take the action, Lord, help me, and say something, shift what I'm doing, then I believe we're going to always stay and lean into that struggle. And I don't believe that's the will of God for us. I do believe the will of God is for us to have peace, is for us to experience joy, and altogether it's to experience the kingdom of God, not in heaven, but in earth.
That's interesting. I like that. Yeah. Not waiting for, if I'm understanding correctly, and I vibe with that. If I'm understanding it correctly, not waiting for some other world situation where we end up in heaven because we got to wait to die to go to heaven. And you hear this in some religious circles where people say, well, no, life is going to be all this, but I got my reward in heaven. I got a reward coming when I get to glory. And it's like, yo, can't you have glory like now? Can't you have glory right here? Maybe you can expound on that just a little bit for the people, where as opposed to waiting to die and find some glory, maybe you can help expound a little bit of why glory is possible now.
Because glory is not a place. Glory is not heaven. We've been taught glory is heaven, and it's not. Glory is really manifested God's word, his goodness here on earth that's shown on an everyday basis. So until we get that understanding of what glory really is, and we've been taught that for traditions and years, when I get to glory, as it mean it's heaven. When I get to the kingdom of God, as it mean in heaven. And he's like, no, the kingdom is within you. So how can heaven be within me if it's all the way up in glory? If that's where it is, right? But glory is something that's weighted here on the earth, that we can actually be carriers of his glory. Wow. And so when you get those type of revelations and understanding him, he reveals himself to you over and over again. But if you continue to just be boggled down with the same traditions and not willing to learn God for yourself, understand his word I know people that don't even read the Bible, period. Okay, if you don't read the Bible, period, do you at least pray to God? How do you have any type of connections with him to understand that his word is true for your life? Not based on what I tell you, not based on what Zeke tell you, not based on what Mama Cynthia Colton tell you, but it's based on what is God speaking directly to you. What is he saying to you? So his glory is his goodness. It's his manifested word here, not just waiting to get in the sweet by and by. No. It's the sweet now and now. The kingdom of God is at hand now. Repent, renew your mind, change your way of thinking that heaven is up there when heaven is present right in your life.
I like that. I like that. Let me ask you this question real quick. Do you think there's a difference? And I don't want to racialize this in any format at all, but I got to. Do you think there's a difference, or have you seen there be a difference where for us who come from Black traditions, because specifically African American traditions, where because struggle has been so much a part of our culture, you think of things like slavery, Jim Crow, all of the all these periods of time, that struggle was a defining factor for African Americans and overcoming struggle. So because we learned to see God through the struggle, like our grandparents, definitely. My grandfather had to live through Jim Crow. My granddaddy had to, be shipped back up north because they said you better send this boy back up there. They're gonna kill him down here. So like a different time frame. So they learn God a different way. But now that times have changed, do you think that there's a generational gap that happens in the spiritual realm, not in the spiritual realm, I'm sorry, that's not a good way to put it, but in the spiritual spaces like church or whatever, where now younger generations are trying to grasp seeing God just where their life is, which ain't in the same struggle that grandpa had. It ain't the same struggle grandma had. I'm not dealing with Jim Crow. Yeah, there's still some systemic racism and other things like that. Yeah, there's still God, having to deal in the chaos, and that's true. But I don't have the same foundation of faith that grandpa had, because Papa had, to deal with some real world struggles that were different than the ones I had. So is there a generational gap that happens because, older generations are like, no, if you're going to find God, you got to find him in this situation. You got to find him like this because that's how they found them. But now it's like, Papa, that ain't my struggle. Like, like that's not my life. I'm not looking to find God through Jim Crow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because God done overcame that one. Like, do you think there's some kind of generational gap that's maybe happened where now we've maybe been pushing people away in some sense?
I mean, when older people, like they say, they set in their ways, right? If they already know God, they got God. They say they know they're going to heaven in the sweet by and by and all that good stuff. This is the best way I know how to get you there. And if they're not deciding to learn more, some they just don't. Hey, I know God as much as I need to know him for right now. I'm straight. I'm going to help my people I save. Hey, we're going to try to live the best life that we can live. Whatever God gives us, you need to be satisfied with that. Oh, my God. Here's my question. If I prayed for something to God and I didn't get exactly what I prayed for, am I happy? I don't think I'm happy. I'm not satisfied. If I go to a restaurant and I want a steak and they bring me a hot dog, I'm not going to be satisfied. I'm going to be upset. And so I think a lot of times the faith that we have, or what we think we have, we don't really have. Because if you truly believe that he's going to do exactly what he said he's going to do, and you praying and believing, you following the steps, I should be able to see some type of fruits of that labor. And I believe as older traditions, they saw fruit of the labor, we shall overcome. Oh my God, it took us a long time to try to overcome. Some of us are still trying to overcome. I can't stay in that same mindset of we shall overcome when God says I'm more than an overcomer. I'm greater than that. So how do I continue in my mind to stay off tradition of we still have to overcome? I got to make a choice. I can believe those great traditions that our family love, and I might lose some family members because our mindsets ain't the same. I might lose some friends because they stay on tradition. It's either I'm going to go with what the tradition is to keep those friends, or I'm going after what I believe God is leading me to, what I see him saying in his word, not something of what I heard somebody else say. I'm reading it for myself. I'm learning it for myself. I'm deconstructing it for myself. And once I come to realize this is where I'm landing, this is now my foundation, by tradition, I got to let you go, because I'm now leaning more into the promise that God is calling me. I'm leaning now more into the future of what he wants me to do, the expected end that I believe Martin Luther King saw in the dream, that we will overcome. We will be better. We'll be better than what our forefathers were. We will be stronger than what our grandpappy and our grandmama was. Why? Because we changed and renew our mind. And so that greater is he that's in us. We ain't waiting to get to him. He's already here with us. And if he's moving and activated in our life on an everyday basis, struggle has no weight to hold me. Struggle keep me down if I tap on the inner one on the inside of me. Why? He already overcame death. And if he overcame death, he can overcome your little cold. If he overcame death, he can overcome your little struggle that you got going on. I don't mean to call it little just to kind of belittle it, but y'all understand what I'm saying. He'll help you out with your situation because he overcame death. And that same power that raised Jesus from the dead, if you are to believe it. Now, if you ain't no believer, I ain't got nothing too much for you. I'm gonna keep on praying and hope we go ahead and keep speaking his faith, and it'll change your mind. But to the believer, if he overcame death, he can overcome your situation.
Yeah. That's man, yeah. You just said a handful right there. That's for sure. You just I listen, because the thing is, like I said, man, some of us we found our identity. I think about, if you're the kind of person that is the trailblazer, you're a trailblazer kind of person with the machete and the sickle in your hand, and that's what your job is, and that's what you're good at. Then when you come to the end of the bushes and there's nothing else to cut down, then all of a sudden now you like now what do I do? Who am I now? Who am I? Like this, we done made it to the other side. Now what am I supposed to do? Like and so scared of peace so now it's like you gotta, well, y'all go ahead and plant some more trees in. Like, then you just chop all of that down so that we can get to the clearing on the other side. Yeah. But now you want to plant some more trees because all you know how to do is fight.
And again,
chop down.
Taught this from church, from our society, from our history book, from school, from education, that black people must struggle. That's what I hear. Mm-hmm. That's what I see. That's what society continue to, every movie about slavery. I can't stand to continue to watch those. I know a lot of people do it. I don't want to leave my history. I don't believe my black, and I came from the struggle, and I understand it. I respect it. But for me, I can't continue to lean in because it gets in my mind. I'm supposed to struggle.
Yeah.
Why am I supposed to do this? This is how it's supposed to be because it's been like that. And it ain't going to change. That's what society continues to tell us. But I got to focus on what the word going to say. Which one is going to be wrong or right? Which report that they say, whose report will you believe, right? I can see in that society, if that's all I look at, that's all I'm going to see, that's all I'm going to be. But if I can now turn shift my focus and reading more about what God say, about positivity, about those type of things, learn education on how to be better. The same books they read, you can read it. The same knowledge they get, now we can get. And now we can make ourselves better and don't have to just struggle. But because it's comfortable, because they keep shoving it down our throats, we'll keep swallowing it, pause, and just continue to be in the struggle. But no. I believe God is raising up a generation. I don't know if it's this one, the one after us, but they coming, boss, and they ain't playing. They don't care if you white, green, or whatever. They about that money, and they gonna make an impact. They know they ain't got to deal with the struggle if they don't want to.
Yeah, I love it. This is a good way for us to maybe start to close right here. Let me just address a couple of the comments. Some good comments came across. Some real good ones. His broken vessel. He be trying to be the last comment, and he always is just too late. Always just too late. But he said, he's the God of the last resort as opposed to the primary answer. And I'm assuming that kind of got cut off right there. But I'm assuming that means the primary answer that we seek out. Yeah, like looking for God as a last resort. So, dealing in there. My wife got in the comments. I don't know why she commented because I know she's driving. So I don't know why she put, especially this long comment. But she said it anyways. God said, don't be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind so we can figure out what God's will is, what good and pleasing and mature. She shouldn't be typing that, so I'm going to take it off the screen because she's supposed to be driving. So, so what's she doing with texting and driving? And then let's see here. Miss Ursula Ellis says everything doesn't end on a sour note. Even the Bible doesn't ultimately end with a problem, but a solution. I like that. That's good right there. And then let's see something real quick. Miss Brenda Rose says, I like this. We fear success. We ask God for it, not realizing he makes no mistakes, and we'll call him a liar, giving back a blessing that was chosen for you. It's normal to talk to someone about it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all was in these comments today. I thank y'all for that. We got to get ready to get up out of here, man. I guess I would say it like this, y'all. I think I would just say it like this. Whatever you got going on this week, whatever you got coming up this week, do a little introspection. That's why I wanted to do this episode today. Struggle is a part of life. It just happens. It just is what it is. That just happens. Struggle will be there, but you don't got to lean into it. You don't got to look for it. And you dang sure don't got to identify yourself and create your identity in it. You can have peace. You can live free. And in that, you can break a cycle of always struggling and all that stuff. So this week, do like I did. When I said I woke up this morning and the first thing that came out of my mouth was, damn, because the alarm went off and I was still tired and I wanted to sleep a few more minutes. I checked myself. I corrected myself. I said, wait a minute. I will not speak that over myself. And it was that little bit, just those little bitty things that you start to build up that'll make you better. I tell you what we'll do. We'll let Pastor close us out with a good word of prayer as we get ready to head into this week. Rich Holmes, go ahead and give the people some closing thoughts. And you know how I like to close. I always like to cover the people with some good benediction of benedictory. So go ahead and give them.
It's Monday, guys. So I hope something was said today to kind of encourage you to get this week kicked off and started right. I hope you are feeling all the positive vibes that we are sending to you and all the prayers and good things that we are sending your way. Don't let nobody hold you back this week. Strive for greatness. Strive for being the best that you can be at the place that you're at even right now. God, I thank you for this time of coming together. I thank you, God, for all the rock stars, and all the stars that's in here, like-minded people of victory, success, and prosperity. We thank you, God, that they will enjoy peace. They will enjoy joy. They will enjoy love like never before. God, continue to show yourself strong in our lives and in their lives. As we kick off this week, Father God, we thank you for focus. We thank you for patience, Father. We thank you for patience in the name of always be done in our life. We receive it in Jesus' name. And Father, even in the midst of our trouble, even in the midst of our trouble, let us learn to be kind to our own understanding. But in all of our ways, we believe, God, you will direct our path. You will direct us out of this mess. You will direct us out of this. You will direct us out of this torment, out of this fiery fire, furnace. And you can stay in that. You're such a great God that you stand. You say you ain't gonna leave us for the sake of it. Even to even in the midst of our I'll get you out here. I'll get you free, and I will deliver you. But even in the midst of that, you're still there with us. And we know that if you are with us, there is no trial that can take us out. If you are with us, we know we can overcome. And God, we thank you for that overcoming spirit this week. In Jesus' name, with whatever trial we face. Amen, guys. Life is choice driven. You will live and die by the choices you choose to make. I got a hint for you. The struggle is over. Choose life.
I love it. I love it. We're going to do all right, y'all. We're going to be all right this week. We're going to see to it that we have a good week. Thank y'all so much for locking in with Zeke Live in the morning. I definitely appreciate all of y'all. I can't talk. I appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate everybody for coming in and locking in the comments and stuff like that. I know that prayer must have gone to heaven because Miss Ursula Ellis gave you a double amen and an emoji. And shout out to Rashad. I was talking about when they spelled my name wrong when they said Zexe earlier, and he calls me Zexe all the time. So yeah, and that's where that came from. And then the mamas of the show have spoken. Well, my wife said that she had her destination. So I done put on blast for nothing. Even though I know she was still driving. I don't know. I was wrong. But the mamas of the show have spoken. Great show, guys. Have a great day. That's from Mama Ride Out and there's Mama Cohen. Great show. Have a marvelous week. Yeah, this is a great way to start off the marvelous week. And if nothing else, you can remember 3 things from me. Remember that you're better now. You're free. And everything is going to be all right. I love y'all, and we will see y'all tomorrow morning. We'll see you tomorrow morning, Tuesday, 7:30 to 10 a.m. right here on Zeke Live in the morning. And yeah, outside of that, man, y'all be blessed. Y'all have a great day. Have a great rest of your day. Hold on one second. Something's going to happen. I told you. I knew that was going to happen. Y'all have a great rest of your day. And get ready to start this off. And I was trying to let him get it in there. I let him. There you go. I let it happen. There you go. I waited an extra minute for you, Merv. There you go. Last comment on the feed. Tell someone about the show and encourage them. And that's a good way to close the show. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And we will see y'all tomorrow morning, 7:30 Central Standard Time. Peace out.